Hello, hello. How is everybody this evening? I hope all is well with you. You caught me because I was too busy looking for something that for some reason I cannot find. And I'm like, what the heck? What happened? But I don't know what happened. I will figure it out. The thing that I wanted to do is this, and I'm going to go ahead and do it as we speak because I'm going to do it once again, figure out where I sent it to because I must have sent it someplace that who knows where that wound up. I do not know. So here we go. Let me put it here one more time. And we're going to put it there one more time. And we're going to hit that save button. And it says it already exists. Well, interesting enough, because when I look at, oh, I see what the story is. I see, says the blind man. Okay. What happens is that I'm looking for a document that is a printable file, and it turns out to be instead a PDF. And so the system doesn't like that, so I can't show it to you in that format. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it in this format as we speak. I'm going to walk you through it, and then I'm going to change it, convert it into a PDF. I mean, into a JPEG. It's kind of nice to know computers from time to time when you have to do this kind of stuff, because unfortunately, not everything comes to me the way I would like it to be, and therefore it is not useful from time to time. But this time I have the skill set, thank goodness, to get me there. So I hope everybody's having a good week so far. We are on Wednesday, so it's hump day. For me, it seems like Tuesday because my better half was here and all Monday, so he was here through Monday, and therefore not. For me, it seems like it's a Tuesday instead of a Wednesday because it's only been a day. With that said, I'm still looking here. There we go. All right. Well, there you go. Yeah, I wanted to show you guys this. It was interesting. Welcome in, everybody, by the way. Good to see you in. Hey, Brittany. Brittany, I owe you a book and some cards, and I promise you it'll go in the mail. I just have not had the chance. It's been crazy since I got back, but it will come to you in the mail. I promise you, my dear. So have faith and be patient, and it will come. I promise. Let's see. With that said, yeah, it's been a busy schedule. I got back from taking care of things with the house in Maryland, and then got right back here. It's interesting too because a lot of activity, a lot of metaphysical activity happening right now. There's so much happening in the world. The world's just going crazy, and things are upside down. And I think that that's created even more metaphysical activity because when people are uncertain, when people have frustrations or fears or whatever, they tend to tap into, bring in the the people on the other side, and the people on the other side then come to help, come to connect with us, to bring us down off the ledge, to make us understand that things are going to be okay. It's all going to be fine. That life is good. Hey, Jimmy Joss, nice to see you in. Hey, Miss Bonnie, nice to see you in as well. So, needless to say, there is a ton of energy. If you were watching us. And that's Angie and myself. She'll be in later, by the way. She will pop in. She was not available immediately. And so I told her, jump in when you come. But it's interesting if you were watching about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when I was on live last with Angie, we had an amazing reading, and it was around the 47.5-minute mark. Good, very good, Jimmy. Appreciate you asking. We were about the 47-minute mark. We were having an amazing reading. Angie had picked up on a spirit that was male, and I had picked up on a spirit that was female, and that connection was very strong between the both of them. And at one point, across here came something. And again, when you watch that image over and over again, I cannot identify what it was. Again, it's probably, from my point of view, it's a spirit. It's energy, and you can see them sometimes on camera, which we cannot see otherwise. Cameras can pick up amazing things, and so can mirrors, by the way, by chance. And so I wouldn't be surprised if one day while I'm reading, the image back here, this TV that's back here, is like a bit like a mirror. So don't be surprised if you see somebody pop up on there, somebody's image pop up from them looking, because they can reflective surfaces can pick up things that we cannot see by naked eye. And so don't be surprised if you see it, shout out and let me know, because again, it'll be caught on the camera, but it'll show here because again, this is like a reflective surface because it's a TV. So don't be surprised. But anyway, the cool part, when I went back to look at that same image, I realized about 10 or 15 seconds prior, there was something that came from back here, went up here, and then flew off that way. And then again, about 10 or 15 seconds after that came this. And so we discussed it in our class last night. Remember, we have a free class for anybody who wants to learn, grow, or experience your gifts. Hey, Sonoran, nice to see you. And we have a free class that helps you to develop your gifts. We all have them. Remember, I said this over again. We all have them. No one is special in that regard. Some people are stronger initially. Some people are naturally stronger. But ultimately, when you put the effort in and the work in, everybody can do this, which is not a problem. So anyway, we were talking about it in class, and it was interesting to get other people's feedback on it. If I have time, I will actually, I'm going to say not if I have time. Let me see if I can pull it up now. I want to show you guys this because, again, this is so just so impressive. Hey, Miss Angie, we're waiting to see you in. Yeah, so impressive to see this and to just watch it happening and unfolding. And it's interesting because when this is at 48 minutes. I'm going to put this on screen in a minute. Somewhere around maybe there. Okay. So that's on there. I'm going to get ready and I'm going to try to share this with you guys. Okay. I'm hoping that it will work. Sometimes this sharing thing works. Sometimes it doesn't. But look, initially for this one above here, it'll come from back here and up and then over. And then the other one just goes through that way. Okay. So let's see if we can get this done. Okay. There we go. I think this is going to work. And then I'll hit the play button. And again, watch for the... Right, just Jalen. But then again, 2 years ago, the brother. Correct? And again, watch above my head for the first one. Yes, we got that part. Yeah. Again, the brother 2 years ago.
The brother is the son's dad.
See it? Did you see it? There you go. There's the one above my head. Yeah, the son's father. The son's father watch 2 years ago, and for this next one, 2 days, which will come across. There you go. See it? Who we're talking about. Did you see?
I did just see it. Yeah. I saw it. I was like, "What is that?"
Yes.
It went so fast. I was like,
So as you guys can see, I wanted to share that with you because I thought that was interesting to see. It is quite interesting. Again, as you see, there's nothing moving around here. There's nothing in this room. There's nothing with me when I'm doing these. There's nothing happening. There's no lights moving, no nothing. It's all what you see. And so when this happened, this one I had not noticed because I was so into my reading. And then all of a sudden this comes across. So you say there's an echo? Is that right? Is there an echo? Let me see. Let me make sure I have the right microphone set up. Default blue. This should be the one. This should be the one that should work. So is there a bad echo or what is it? It was and is so cool. Thank you, Bonnie. Yeah, it was a pretty amazing. So I wanted to share that with you again. And again, I think it's because there was so much activity that day because Angie was picking up on a male spirit at the same time I was picking up a female spirit. Now, that female spirit, the interesting thing is that female spirit had died 2 days prior. So when I picked her up, it was unusual to find one, but she needed to communicate to the person who was being read to ensure that that was fine. So I see when Angie was, there was an, okay. Yeah, so anyway, so it was crazy. So I wanted to share that with you. You can always go find that same image. It's saved under my thing. When you see it, it is, if you go to my Sonoran Mystic Tarot YouTube page, or you can go to Angie's YouTube page and find our live streams. And I think it was our last live stream or the one before that one, and go to the 47-minute, 30-second thing and just keep, and you'll be so. And this one surprised me though, because I was preparing it for class and I was looking, and that's when I saw that one, which I had not seen before. And I saw, it was interesting because I was telling people, I guess I've been so Disneyized that when I saw it, I thought of Tinkerbell, because it looked like Tinkerbell came here and then faded, went off that way, and they left the little, so they left the little tail as they went, because it's like it was so cool and it was so neat. So I wanted to share that with you. But again, I believe the spirits are, I think, because there's so much angst and so much, just so much happening in this world right now. I think that the spirits in the universe are coming to us to help kind of cool us down, to chill us out, and to help find peace, or some feeling of the world is not on fire, even though we feel over the last week it has been crazy. I mean, it's a whirlwind. It's a whirlwind. And so, and I don't care which side of the spectrum you're on, it doesn't matter. If you cannot see that it's been just crazy activity over the last few weeks, then that's on you. I can't help you understand that one if you can't see it. So so with that said, yeah, so that was great, and having that experience, that brings me to a point, okay? And this goes back to a key point to everybody. This is a great time, again, because the energies are so high and people's emotions are so raw, and the ancestors, your ancestors are coming through to you, and they're coming through for everybody. So it's not just you. They're coming through for everybody. And since they are the veil is so close right now because the energy is so chaotic, and it's kinetic as well. So like it's bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. The one good thing is that this is the best time, the very best time to try to communicate with the loved ones on the other side. Okay, this really is a great opportunity to do that. So if you've been wanting to talk to someone who's crossed over, be it a parent, a sibling, a cousin, a grandparent, whoever it is that has crossed over, a good friend, a child, whoever has crossed over, if you've been looking to communicate with them, this would be a perfect time, because with this much energy and with this much passion flying around and with so much out there going on, that the spirits are ready and they're available. They make themselves available for this. And again, with that veil being very thin, you can communicate easier to do that. I'm going to be doing a series of videos, and I'll post them on Facebook. On YouTube. I'm sorry, on YouTube, and some on Facebook as well. But they'll be put on there to enable, to kind of walk you through the process, to help you to connect and to understand. Now, there also is a video already. It's a oh good Lord, I can't think. It's a meditation video, and I have a meditation video, and I'll show it to you, that already helps make that easier for you to do. However, I'm not saying that's the only way. What I'm going to do in my in the videos that I make and put out there, it's going to be a step-by-step process to help you without necessarily having to do meditation. Okay, this beside us is the video that is online, and it's a guided meditation. I made this guided meditation myself, and it walks you through a guided meditation to help you to bring down your defenses, to line your chakras, and then to be prepared to speak to the loved ones who've crossed over. Okay, and so it is a great video, and a great video, but also a great meditation. You probably will have to do the meditation 2 to 3 times before you get all the visualizations, because visualizations are part of that, because again, it's helping you clear the mind, settle the mind, prepare the mind. So don't be surprised if you have to do it a few times. While you're at it, and again, what I'm going to walk you through in various videos that will be coming will be a process that doesn't need the meditation. It's just you connecting and getting ready and open to that. Okay. And again, this is the time to do it. If you don't want to do meditations, this is the time to do it, because again, the veil is so thin because of all the chaos. I also have one for the spirit guides. So if you ever wanted to meet your spirit guides, this is the meditation to do it. And this is also the meditation to, let's see, this is the spirit guides, and the other one is the meditation for, where is it? There's another meditation that helps you to meet your gatekeeper. And your gatekeeper is the person who, again, is the energy, the person, the spirit, whatever you want to call it, that controls access to you. When it comes to spirits have to go through them. They say yeah, nay, whatever. They're the ones that keep us safe, keep us protected, and they make sure that you that you're not overwhelmed. And I love my gatekeeper. Her name is Emily, Sometimes she and I have a little bit of conversations because sometimes something happens and I'm like, okay, I was not clear and that is my problem, but I clear it, I fix it. So this is the gatekeeper. This is the spirit guides. Okay. So no matter what, you're good to go in that regard. Now let me do one more thing because I do realize that I did not change the privacy settings for Facebook, and that may be driving some people crazy because they can't see it, and now maybe they can. There you go. All right. And then so there you go. With that said, again, listen, watch for those videos. They're going to be very instructive and they're not going to be long. Each of them are going to be one step and one step and one step. It's probably going to be 3 or 4 to put the pieces together. I want you to do one and get comfortable with it. And then you'll do the next and you'll do the next and then you finally close up. But I'm telling you, if you ever wanted to have a conversation, this is the time. And I'll tell you one more thing is I did this in person. I did this meditation in person for a group and we did it, through a Zoom. It was a Zoom meditation, and I did this on Zoom meditation for a group of people. And I heard a gasp at one point, but I continued because again, we're doing it for a group. And when we were done, one of the ladies, I said, "Do you have any feedback? Anybody?" And this woman she was in tears, and she told me, she said that she had been a medium herself for many years, 25, 30 years, if I remember her numbers right. She had never, even though she had done connecting, she'd help people connect for themselves through to their loved ones. She had never had anyone help her connect, and she had never connected to her father. And in this meditation, the one that I've recorded, that I've talked about, that was showed up over here, this one and this one, this one helped her, and she sat there and had a conversation with her father. And additionally, the father brought in her loved ones who'd crossed over that were from her family, that again, she had so much, and she was in tears, and she thanked me profusely, which is not, again, I'm not the one to be thanked. The thankfulness is when you open yourself up, when you give yourself that opportunity to listen, to be open and ready, and therefore then you get the benefit. So it was wonderful experience, and I'll never forget it. And I'm very happy that I did. But it's the same video, it's the same meditation. I just did it live for everybody instead of it being recorded, but it is a guided meditation. Okay, so give it a try, see what happens. But more importantly, when I do the series of things to help you meet your spirit guides, your loved ones, they will not require meditation, and so they'll not be meditation based. These will be exercise based. Okay, helping you to bring down the defenses, to open up your energies, to open up your doorways, your pathways, whatever you want to call them, and bring that wonderful spirit in, whoever they may be. Again, it may be more than one, which is great. With that said, want to also tell you some good news that happened this week. And I just got the news today, actually, and I was unbelievably thrilled. Okay, this is my book, as you guys know. When it shows up, hello. Okay, it's supposed to show up. All right, there it is. The Ultimate Power Within, Unleashing the Magic of Affirmations. I wrote that book. It took about 2 years to write it. And on March 31st, it was released of 2024. And when it was released, it hit #1 new bestseller that day, which was exciting, on Amazon. On Amazon, of all places, who sells tons of books. So I was very happy. But I just found out today, and I'm going to put this up so y'all can see it if it will work, and I'm hoping that it will. This is what I was working on when you guys arrived, is this. And this is the Scottsdale Public Library. As you guys know, I live in Scottsdale, Arizona. And today I got word from the Scottsdale Public Library that my book is now in the library. And it is in circulation, which made me happy. And I couldn't believe it. I was thrilled. It's again, this is Scottsdale Public Library. You can go online. If you don't, if you want to test me, you can go online, type in Scottsdale Public Library, Arizona, and then type in my book title, and you'll see it comes up. So it's like I just did a copy of the page, that was there, so you can see it. So this was a big deal to me. When I was a child in Baltimore, it's interesting. Books, we take books for granted these days, but books, even many eons ago, books were books in the 14th century were almost impossible, and you had to be wealthy, and only some people could read. Not everybody was taught to read, because the formalized religions wanted us to be kept dumb, and in the dark, because we would then listen to them, and that would be the leadership. They didn't want us thinking for ourselves. Down the road, as books became, as the printing press came and so forth, and we wind up getting more opportunity to have access, it was still difficult and costly. Over time, that's fallen to the wayside. And now, of course, we have the digital print and everything else, which is wonderful. But when I was a child, we didn't have those things, and we had still libraries. And since I really couldn't afford books, I was not fortunate. I grew up in a very poor family. I was not fortunate with money. Okay, I'll put it that way. Our family worked hard. That doesn't mean I wasn't fortunate. I was very fortunate because we had a love, and we had a wonderful family and a wonderful upbringing in Baltimore City. Y'all heard bad things about it, I'm sure, but I tell you what, I loved Baltimore, and I am always proud to be from Baltimore. It is such an amazing place. But anyway, back to my story, because I do deviate. Apologize. I found out today that I was given that, and it's interesting because it meant so much more to me than you can imagine. And I don't want to get this wrong. I was thrilled to be the #1 new seller on Amazon on March 31st of 2024 when I released the book, because that's a major thing, to release a book and have it #1 new seller. That's almost impossible on a platform like Amazon, where it's dominated by publishers. And I independently published the book myself, and so it was me marketing and me talking about my book and getting it out there that helped. And though that was a wonderful feeling, and then when I won the Impact Award, remember, I also won this award, which was the International Impact Award, and my book won that award, which is wonderful. And so I'm very proud of that too. And this is the certificate that was given to me. The thank you was me. I put that behind it, but that's the award. But anyway, back to where I was headed. When as a kid, we would 2 times a year go to the Enoch Pratt Free Library downtown, which was impressive. It was this beautiful, massive old building with these pillars of marble and this atrium, and you look up in 3 stories, and the books and the rooms for studying and all. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like an amazing place to be, and to think about it and say, gosh, wouldn't it be amazing to be able to put something together and have it be part of this, because this building is part of history. I'm from Baltimore, like I said, and so in Baltimore, from Maryland, those colonies were the first 13, remember? And so we were one of the first 13. And so again, these traditional things, so I always thought it was amazing. And so today, when the news came to me and I received the email, it hit me harder than I thought it would, because again, it reminded me, of how amazing I felt going to the library, picking up a book that somebody who I did not know wrote, and learning and growing from that, and understanding it and devouring it. And even to this day, I go to the library, and I know it's old fashioned, but I go to the library and I sit and I go through things. I look at things. I look through the magazine sometimes. I go through where they sell the books sometimes. I go through and find books on topics I want. I just go because I love the smell of a book. I love the feel of a book. And when I did my research for this book, and I have 3 books in the pipeline right now. Actually, I've started 3, and the 2 of the 3 I've put on the side, and I've moved on to another one and another one. But I have 3, and those books, I go to the library as part of my research as well as online. And so when I found out the news, I tell you, it hit me in a way that you couldn't explain, because again, I'm in the library, someplace as a child that I just thought, isn't this? It's like being elected to office. It was like going to Congress, because that was the hallowed halls of the Supreme Court. As an attorney, that was one thing I would love to have done. I never made it Supreme Court. I didn't do it. I did because that was not the kind of law that I did. But anyway, I wanted to share that with you. So we're coming up on the 1st anniversary of the book being sold, because again, March 31st. And so I'm looking at how I can discuss that and bring it back. And this was a good way to do it. Okay. With that said, I think Miss Angie is here and ready. So I'm going to bring her on. Hello, Miss Angie.
Hi, Don. How are you?
Good.
Love the story about the library. I was in the background like, I love reading books too. I'm not a very digital swipe on the reader person. I love to pick up a book and just, turn the page. It's something about that connection to the book for me, just holding the book in my hand.
It is, isn't it? There's something very, very, I don't know what it is.
Organic or something. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's just nice, and it works better for me than the digital. I just can't get with the digital.
Yeah.
Even though on the digital, I can make them letters as big as I need.
Yeah, we ain't going there now. Because I notice my letters getting bigger and bigger every day, so I know what that means. But,
One time I looked at my phone screen and I said, "Do you need your letters to be?"
I know when it's interesting because the book is done. I have it. I published it initially in soft cover, and then I did the hardcover, and then I released the ebook, and I released the audiobook. And I've listened to the audiobook. I've read the ebook because I went through and make sure I critic, and I actually had to fix the audiobook. There was like 2 or 3 places where it was mistake. There was a mistake, and I picked it up, and the guy was like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't, I didn't catch it myself. I apologize. Whatever." He was very cool. The guy who did it, he fixed the problem, which I found before I published it. But you're right. There was something so different about seeing it in e format. I'm like, and it's funny when I would type, I would type it on the computer, and then I'd print it, and I'd hold the paper and read it, and I'm like, I'm in the old days. It's right here. I don't need to, but I wanted to print it, and then I moved the paper because I'm like, this is how I read, and it's like it was so much more. I guess.
Bending the page back or just turning the page. It's just the flow of it.
Yeah,
I prefer it that way.
yeah.
I don't think I buy any ebooks.
Yeah, and especially like when I was editing, as I edited, give me. I want the red pen. I still want the red pen, and and when I put the notes, because I'll put that, and then I'll add in blue the notes that I wanted to make sure I put, because I'll say, add here something, and that would be in blue, and then the red would be, you need to edit this, you need to fix this, whatever. And so, I would. That was my system. Is blues were additional items, reds were edits, fixes, those kind of things. And I tried doing it online, and I'm like, oh, this is so. No, it's yuck. It's like, no, no.
Yeah. Look, I could just flash through that and write what I wanted to say. Here, I gotta go do this. I gotta do that. I gotta push this button. I gotta edit. Slash
Change
should be
font
this.
colors, change font sizes, because it's red versus. I'm like, no, no, and then
My
straight
10th
through
grade
and.
English teacher should have been a murderer because she could slash her paper up red in a minute. Just
Yes, yes, yes. We won't go into that because Lord knows I've had a lot of bleeding on my papers over the years. I promise you.
my 10th grade English teacher. I
Yes.
never forget it.
My law school professor, when it comes to legal writing, the first that we have 2 different classes, and the first class, I had to buy her new pens because I know I ran her out of red ink. I know it, and I think she loved it too, because and you could just see her. She went
Why?
red pen
You get
crazy.
so much joy from just tearing the paper up like this. What?
Oh my God, she did. You could see she felt like, oh my God, she hit the jackpot with me, and she
But
did.
I think it also helped me because it like, okay, so now when I write, I'm like, okay, well, will they understand this? Do I need to give them more explanation? So she really helped me in that right when it was like, you can't assume that your reader already knows.
Yes,
You have
exactly.
to kind of give them some kind of clue or some kind of understanding. It's kind of like when they say, don't put an abbreviation until you write the whole word out first.
Hmm. Yeah, I tell you, it does help. I must admit, by having been critiqued viciously, it does help because when you start, the good part is when you start understanding the English language in a way that we don't when we speak, because we speak loosely. We become loosely speakers. We have a form and kind of a flow. But when you read it, and you have no visual context, you have none of this, like fix your face, Angie, that kind of stuff, and the look at my face, don't do it. It's like,
Exactly.
yeah, you're missing that part of it, and so you have to take it purely from the context of the writing, and you
Yeah.
read it, and you're like, oh, that's flat, and you're like, oh, that doesn't, I don't get it, and you have to put the context around it, which is so different.
So one of my favorite things, I was into the Twilight series and that final book that she did. The
Mm-hmm.
way she describes it in the book is beautiful. I saw it on the screen when they made it into a movie, and it just did not do justice to the way that she wrote it in the book. The
At the
book
very end screen or something.
No, the very beginning of it. Like
Okay.
the fourth book started off with a wedding. Bella and Edward get married.
Right,
And
right.
so she described how beautiful everything was, the flowers, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. when I went to see it in the movie, it wasn't as good. It
Yeah,
just didn't hit like the way she described it. I remember coming home and rereading it, like, oh my goodness, she describes this beautifully, and it just sounded
right.
so good. And I just don't think that they did it justice on the screen for what the way
Yeah.
she described it, because she gave you the feelings and the emotions, and it was just, it was amazing.
Yeah, I must tell you, it's interesting. Of so many of the books that I've read and then seen on film, the one author who I think the producers and directors got through very well with was the very first Harry Potter,
Oh,
because I read
really?
that book and I thought that book was amazing, and then I
It
saw
had to be.
it was, and then I watched the movie, and I was like, wow. Now there was some changes because there's some edits that were not in the movie, which I get because they needed to make the gaps and so forth. But I was very impressed with her ability, and this is the one thing about J.K. Rowling. No matter what you think about her, because she's not a formally trained writer, she was able to connect with people because she wrote how she wanted to visualize something, and therefore
Mhm.
she put it out there. She didn't have, she knew what her vision was, and she found the words that we could connect to instead of trying to find some superfluous crap and then just throw it out there to fill pages. I mean, she really hit it home, and I think that that was part of the glory, is that whoever, and I can't remember who it was, Chris something I think was the guy who did the first one. But anyway, whoever it was, when they did it, they truly they devoured. They had to have devoured that book to get the visuals that they were able to get. Because I thought of all the books I'd seen turned into movies, that one was good. And also, Hunt for Red October was one that fell in that same category, because
Oh,
I worked at NSA at that time. Remember, I was in engineering back then, and I was at NSA, and Tom Clancy, who was from Annapolis, Maryland. He was the author of Hunt for Red October and Red Storm Rising and all those genre of books, right? But he couldn't get published. Nobody wanted to publish him. And then the Naval Press actually eventually published him. But when he wrote, the way he wrote, again, he was an insurance salesman. He wasn't a writer. He was an insurance salesman, right? And he wrote this amazing book. And when he came to NSA, well, the book wasn't yet popular, right? It was relatively new. And when he came to NSA to talk to us, and one of us, because again, we had TSSCI, top secret special compartment and access or information, right? And so we had these super ultra clearances, and we were dealing with stuff that we could not talk about, and yet he had some of that in his book. And we're like, dude, it's like, where do you draw the line, and where did you get this? And he said, and so somebody asked him, they said, if you ever received classified information that you knew was classified and not accessible through regular means, like through Jane's, because Jane's is a military catalog and military magazine, and
okay.
it gives all kinds of specs on all kinds of military weapons and stuff, right? And so if you read Jane's, you can learn so much, and that is free information. That's freedom information. That's not secret information. But they ask him, if you got information that is secret, and you knew it was secret, top secret, or anything classified, would you use it? He said no. If it was not in the public domain, I would not use it no matter what. He said, that's not what I wanted to write a book for. That I wrote a book because I wanted to entertain, but I wanted to share information so people would make it believable. And so everything he learned, and it was funny because people were like, who was his inside source? And it's like, no, it wasn't. He learned it all, picked it up via Jane's and through public domain. And that was amazing, because back
Wow.
then he didn't have the internet. There was no internet to do that. He had to do the research. He had to go to the libraries and do those things, So we all come back to the library. This is a man who spent years in the library doing the research to be able to write that book and make it very authentic. And so yeah, that book was amazing, and the movie was done so well. But and again, bringing it back around to the library. When you're in the library, it's amazing what you can do. It's amazing how your mind works. It's amazing what you can tap into, because you'll sit there and all of a sudden you'll think about, I wonder if they have a book on that. And then all of a sudden you find out, no, there's not one, there's many, which is interesting, because when I did my research, I looked for books on affirmations. And Angie, I'm telling you, there's only one, two, or maybe three at most, because so many people, I don't know if they don't understand it, or they can't put it into a way that people can read it, or what was the challenge. But there really aren't books on affirmations. There's tons of books on manifestation, but not in affirmations. And
I was
so,
gonna say they concentrate on just that part of it.
Yep, exactly. Yep. And so when I wrote the book, I was actually blazing a trail for that because and believe me, again, I spent tons of time in the library, and Hay House has a ton of books on things, but Hay House also was limited in this result. However, Angie, I don't know if I shared it with you, but folks, it's amazing. I wrote the title. I went to the library and I was doing research. I was, and I was on half price books and so forth. And I'm looking and looking, and the title was hitting me. And I'm like, I want this title. I want to use this title. And I want to see if nobody had the title, The Power Within, right? The ultimate power within. And so I came up with The Power Within, and I said, no, it has to be something more, because it's not just power. We all have power. It has to be something because it's like the amazing power, the power that can ultimately change us. And that's how I came up with the ultimate power within, right? And then unleashing the magic of affirmations to clarify that. So there's a semicolon there. Anyway, amazingly enough, today, when that thing came to the library, and the library sent it to me saying, you're in the library now. I did a search.
So they notify you. You didn't have, like, that's how you
They
found out.
notified me. They
Oh my
notified me
gosh, I
today.
didn't know they told you when they put your book in the library.
Yeah, I'll show you the I got the email, and it was crazy. Yeah, I got the email saying, congratulations, you are now in the collection at the Scottsdale Library and Puppy Library. I was like, oh my God, yes. So anyway, so ultimately,
I fell out my chair. I'd have just fell out of my chair.
I was driving. I was just pulled into our driveway, and I was waiting for the garage door to open. So I popped up the thing, and I'm like, who was this? Because I saw congratulations.
Why has
like,
the library contacted me? Did I plagiarize somebody?
I know. And I was like, oh my gosh. So where was I headed with this? Shoot, what was I
They
thinking?
sent you the email. I don't know where we were going. I'm sorry.
I lost it too. Anyway, so it's the ultimate thing.
There weren't a lot of books out there like that. Yeah. You were blazing the
yes. Yeah. And so I went on Amazon afterwards, right? And I'm looking, I typed in the ultimate power within. I'm no longer the only author with the ultimate power within. There are now 3 other books that have the power within, the ultimate power within, and the ultimate power within, which is a new book from January 5th, 2025, this year. They used my title without the other part on the end. And then a book from last year, May of last year, again, mine was March, remember? May of last year, somebody else released The Power Within. And I'm like, damn. And what I guess is that they probably had this idea for a book. They wrote the book, and then they were looking for titles and ideas. And then they probably did some SEO search to find out what's hot, what code word, which keywords. And then since that book was showing some success, they said, let me use part of this. And so I take it as a compliment. I take it as a confirmation that I was able to get something that was so good that other people have copied it. But it was also a bit of a shocker, because I'm like, wait a minute, that's my title.
Are their books on the other 2 books? They're both on affirmations also?
No. One is about spirits, about spirit and the spirit of God, and the ultimate power within was about the spirit of God and connecting with God to bring good things to your life. So it is affirmations, but it's a spiritual bent. So they didn't use the word affirmations, but it was kind of the same thing, right? And I'm guessing maybe some AI person maybe popped that out. They took my book, and I didn't look at, I was like, I need to go back and look at it a little more and see if maybe they took my book and then put a spiritual edge to it instead of the metaphysical. And it all is spiritual, because ultimately we all are talking to our creator, whatever, or from the other side or whatever, But anyway, I say, you know what? It's a flattery, in my opinion, because they liked my title and it worked for them. So they've released their books. So you go.
That is amazing. But that also just shows that you're on the road that you're supposed to be on. You're moving in the right direction, and you're still, inspiring people.
Yep. So that's so crazy week. Good week. A good week indeed. So there we go. Welcome in, everybody. As you saw, I got off on a tangent there, but just was celebrating some good news.
It was a nice stall tactic while I got here from dropping Brandon off. So I thank you for, stalling them until I can get here.
Absolutely. Lori, Cheyenne Taylor, Sheila Nova, Sherry Burris. Welcome in all. And again, Miss Bonnie was here earlier, and Jimmy Joss and the rest. Okay. If y'all want a if you'd like a reading, let us know, and also tell us whether it's a general or if it is specific. Give us a specific question. Don't say specific and then have us guess, because we don't do that.
I'm just gonna give you a general.
Exactly. And Angie, I was telling him about the spirit, and I told my class last night.
I was driving and listening to you
Yeah,
talk about it.
yeah. And folks, if you missed it earlier, you need to go look at that video, because again, when I was preparing for class yesterday, that's when I caught the other one, the first spirit that came up like this and then jettisoned before the second spirit came. And during class, it was interesting what Sarah had to offer about what she thought that one was, And I thought, oh my gosh, that's crazy. And Sarah didn't watch the show, nor did she have information about.
Oh yeah, because she added to what we were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my gosh, how would she know this? But of course, why wouldn't she? She's psychic. So, she picked up on it. She's very metaphysically oriented, so there you go. And we've invited our classmates to come on, and they've all are motivated to do so. So don't be surprised if over the next few weeks you see some of our class folks come and join us for the readings, and maybe Sarah will share her gift. Her gift is amazing. When Sarah sees a spirit and she can draw that spirit, and usually it's somebody from your past, somebody who's passed over. It's amazing how wonderful she is at that. It's crazy. Hey, Lotus Cyber, nice to see you in. Yes, we can add you to the list. Miss Angie, who should we start with tonight?
Lotus Siren. I haven't seen her in a long time. I'm
All
okay
right
with
then.
starting with her.
Miss Lotus Siren says, General. Do,
Mm,
do, do.
okay. I was trying to make sure that the image that I was getting in my head wasn't because of the lights that were on your picture, but what I see is there's a scene going on outside. So it's kind of like outside your door outside. It's nighttime. The police are outside. Like there's, and I don't even know this is the police, but there's the lights and the sirens going off outside, or the lights are not sirens. The lights are flashing outside your door. And, I hear opportunity is knocking. So whatever's going on outside is to let you know that an opportunity is coming, but they didn't knock on your door because they don't want to alarm everybody. So I don't know if that means there's somebody in your immediate, you know, family group or in your immediate group that does not need to know that maybe you're telling too much of your information. But the way they're giving it to me is the lights outside should draw your attention for you to open the door and see what's going on. And when you go out, when you open the door, there's your opportunity. They're not going to knock because they don't want the whole house to know. So this is something that is coming to you that you kind of need to keep to yourself until it's kind of cemented, until the contract is signed. Like they're showing me a pen going across the paper. So until the final steps are done, you need to keep it to yourself. But there is an opportunity that is coming to you. I see the calendar flipping like this, and then it shows a 60. So I believe this will happen within the next 60 days or so. I also get they show me a little kid getting in a swimming pool, so I'm wondering if you're planning like a family vacation with the kids or something, because they show me little kids getting into a swimming pool or just kind of getting wet up. So this is outside. So this seems like it'll be a summertime thing, like you're going on a vacation with the friend with the family, but it seems to be like you're celebrating the actual win that you got from the springtime with the new opportunity that's coming your way. I get something about cupcakes or cupcake business. Do you bake, or are you trying to open some kind of dessert shop? Is that true, or something like that? Because I get cupcake, but I also get like somebody handing something over a counter. So I don't know if it's you picking up something from for a celebration, or if it's you selling the things. But I get dessert, and I get like maybe you're opening up a new shop. Is that true? But if that's not true, then there's some kind of celebration and you're picking up uh, um, some kind of dessert or some kind of celebratory sweet item. I also get a male voice, and I don't know if this person is on this side or on the other side of the veil. So I just get a deep male's voice. He kind of has whitish, grayish hair, so kind of that silver look, an older gentleman, maybe a mustache here. Very nice looking. and he's very close to you in your ear talking to you. So he's providing guidance to you. And you seem to be very comfortable with the guidance and the understanding that you're getting from this person, although you may not understand where it's coming from. So I'm assuming this is a person that's on the other side. It's a male energy, and kind of like a father figure or emperor type person is how they're making it seem to me. But this person is giving you information and you're not sure where the information is coming, but you know that you're getting clarity on some of the things. I feel like you're doing a little bit more deeper inter, like um you're digging deeper, going deeper with your revelations instead of going outward to other people. You're kind of digging deeper, and this voice seems to be the person. I don't know that it's your gatekeeper. It feels very familiar, like a male relative on your side. You said you're not a baker, but you and no family vacation. Hmm. I definitely get that. You said you're not planning a vacation. Do you have little littles? Because these were little girls playing in the water. So, and I saw a water hose, so it felt very family friendly. Like, oh, we're having a good time. We're gonna go and do like some kind of summer activity. So, do you have little littles, like little girls, that you would be taking on a vacation? Because these are little girls. I want to say under 10, just playing in the backyard, unless it's you, but I don't feel like it's you. It feel like they're your little littles. And your grandpa might be the person. This male is a very soothing person that I hear. He's very soothing. He's very even. Like he's not like too high or too low. He's very, but you hear him. He's so close to your ear, you can hear him, and he's guiding you. He's kind of telling you, no, or he's giving you that gut feeling. You like, well, should I take $5,000 out the bank and invest in this food service thing? And he's like, no, you do not want to do that. Oh, so maybe you're going to go and visit your two nieces, because I see you. It's a backyard with grass everywhere, and it's one of those little swimming pools in the backyard and just a water hose, but it's two little girls having fun. And again, they're under 10, or the one girl that I saw was under 10. She's a little, and she's a cute little girl. Maybe missing one of her little teeth around here somewhere is how they're showing it to me. Um, very diva-esque, or very much the attention person. She likes to get a lot of the attention. But she seems to like being around you, or kind of playing in like maybe you'll let her play in your makeup, or you'll let her play in your hair, or you'll let her kind of just have her way when you see her, because you haven't seen her in a long time. Back to the mail. Is there something about a car? Are you trying to get a new car? Because they're showing me the new car that I want. So are you trying to get a new truck or a new car? It looks like they're trying to steer you in the right direction. The person that I see selling you the car looks like they're a male, kind of like a pot belly, white shirt in a dealership, but you are referred to him by a friend. Oh, that makes sense. You said really business savvy. Okay, so this person seems to be guiding you to the right place to go and get a new car. But I do see that you're getting a new car. It'll be closer to the end of summer. I don't feel like it'll be, well, I hear the word spring, but it seems to be driving out to the end of summer. So maybe it'll be between spring and the end of summer. But I do feel like you're going to get a new vehicle. Um, it seems like you want a newer version, a very new vehicle. Oh my, you want luxury. I do see that. Um, and I see you flying over. So you are taking a trip and you're flying over. You want to buy a home first. I see the car. I did not get any indication about a house, but I do get you flying somewhere to go and visit someone. So you're in an airplane and you're over, because I see the sunset. You can see the sunset from from your window in the airplane, and you're going over a big body of water. I feel like you're going to an island or to a mountainous area, but it's really pretty. It's again at night as you arrive, because the sun is setting. Um, let's see. Do you have a young male child? Is your child a male child, or is this another relative? Because there's a young male child who seems to be around that tween age, maybe 13 to 15, who's having a little bit of adolescent adjustment. He's a little giving you a little bit of pushback, and you're like, I don't know why this kid is acting like this. It's like they went from being mom's little sweet baby to like a little bratty kid in that middle like tween area. It'll pass very, very soon. Whoever this little boy is, he's just a little bit So do you have a nephew? You said no kids, because there is a little boy who seems to be going through that little adolescent stage, that is in your energy. Um, and I want to say he's in 13 to 15, because he's just kind of being a little bratty, like testing his boundaries, how he's going to move forward. But it doesn't seem like, yeah, yeah, that would be around that 13 to 15, because at 15 you would be in high school. So he's pushing his boundaries a little bit. I don't feel like he's getting into any great mischief. He's just being a little bit frustrating to the parental figure around him. And they're just like, I don't know. He just overnight went from being such a great little golden child to like, he's just giving me a lot of attitude. Not, disrespectful, but you know how we are as teens. We think we know every single thing in the world there is to know. But he'll do fine. He'll move on. I get that he's very good at math, because they're showing me like high aptitude test. And like maybe he's thinking about going to the military, or that'll be some things that'll be like he'll test out or he'll explore. I don't know that he'll actually go, but he seems to be very smart in math. Okay, he's 15. Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Um, and I just keep hearing love, 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 love. Are you looking for love? Is that why I keep hearing love, love, love in the background? Ah, you know how much I love a love reading. Um, and I just keep hearing, um, oh wow, that's so funny. I hear You Can't Fight the Moonlight by oh, what is Lil Leanne Rhymes from that movie Coyote Ugly. That is one of my favorite movies. That bar movie, where uh uh the girls dance on the bar and serve drinks and stuff. And I keep hearing You Can't Fight the Moonlight. So it's kind of like you're in a tug of war in a relationship where you're fighting against them and they're fighting against you, or you're kind of butting heads because you both want to be the boss or something like that. That's how they're giving it to me. Oh yeah, really smart mouth. But again, not too disrespectful in his smart mouth, your little nephew. Just a little bit testing the boundaries, like kind of stuff you would say, and you'd be like, "What?" Like you would expect from a little kid. But he's okay. You got the Two of Wands when I came up with the love stuff again. I thought it was gonna be the Two of Cups, but it's the Two of Wands, and it's kind of you planning and searching, and kind of like, okay, well, love didn't work this way. I'm just gonna kind of let it go with the flow, and then kind of see. I feel like I answered that question, Jimmy Josh, about that application. I feel like we've answered it, and it was a no, because you'll get a better offer. I could have sworn I answered that question for you, but I'll come to you in a minute. Um, yeah, okay. So I do feel like there is a love coming to you, because I got the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is planning and kind of looking out into the world, like the world is my oyster. So I do feel like there is some love coming up for you, dare I say it. But I feel like you'll have a little tug of war with this person, because you're strong willed and they're strong willed, and you've been through some stuff, and they're trying to break through your wall that you've built up. It'll be a little bit of head bumpy, but you'll get it together maybe by the end of the year, because I'm cold and I see ice and I see snow. But I feel like you will have love this year. Something kind of easy breezy. They're kind of showing to go with the flow, because they're showing me like people in like light linen and white colors. So it's kind of just like be easy breezy, be kind of, just chill about it and see where things go, and don't put too much pressure on it. Like don't meet him at Starbucks on Monday and then Tuesday you're writing your name hyphen his name. Like don't do that. Give it some time to see if you actually like this person, or if this is something you might want to pursue. Like there's a whole bunch of things I think are deal breakers, but when you get to know somebody, are they really deal breakers once you know, decide that you're interested in them? So that's what I got for you, Lotus Siren. We're still doing Lotus Siren.
Hmm. When I before I popped out, it's interesting because I'm like you, Angie. I felt like I felt there's like a beam or a spotlight that is being shown, and I think that Lotus, you need to listen. You need to calm your mind. You need to find a peace and tranquil space, and you need to be able to just open up and listen, because Spirit's talking to you heavy, and I get the feeling like you're so um, again, I think you're just kind of overwhelmed, or not. Maybe that's not the right word, but I feel like you just have a lot of stuff going on. Your mind is a whirlwind, and therefore you're not able to hear. You want to, don't get me wrong. I don't say you don't want to hear, but what I'm saying is it's not effective right now. And you need to be more effective with your hearing, with listening to what spirit is telling you, because you're getting the guidance you're hoping for. You just aren't able to you're just not able to parlay it into something because you're just not hearing the whole thing. And part of it is like a rebirth, a rethinking, a retooling. Again, it's evolutionary. And I don't know if you're is there's like an inherent and maybe subconscious fear to that. So maybe that's kind of what is going on there too. But I really do. I hope you find a way to do it.
Oh my gosh, Don, I feel like that's why it's kind of quiet. Like the lights are flashing so she could see it, but the sirens aren't going so that
Right.
everybody can hear it. I feel like when she gets some kind of guidance, she goes and asks so many people about it. She gets too many different opinions. It muddles the water. And so where you had clarity in your guidance, you asked too many people. Now you're confused again.
Um,
So they want you to be a little bit more silent so people can't discourage you, so people can't muddle your clarity. Just, sit on it for a while. You get the information, sit on it for a while, watch it unfold, and then tell everybody about how you got to that journey. I manifested that. I believed in that, affirmations, or whatever, but
yeah.
let it happen and play out first. Don't tell everybody at every stage of it.
Yeah, and Lotus, the one thing that I think you may have missed from the beginning when I came on initially is that there is so much energy happening right now. There's so many changes going on, and the world is in chaos. And that kinetic energy, the frenetic and kinetic energy that's happening again, that bouncing off the walls, the just all the activity and stuff like this, it is made the veil very thin. And so the other side is reaching out to us and trying to help us, be it our loved ones. Our loved ones were reaching out from the other side to help us, and so forth. So again, if you can quiet your mind, do an exercise like lighting the candle. Light a candle for 7 straight days, for 5 minutes a day, the same time every day, in a dark place, and light the candle. Focus only on the flame. It's hard the first few days. The longer you do it, the better you get at it, and you'll start quieting your mind, and you will hear spirit because they're talking to you. Remember, they're chattering away right now. It's like they're throwing it because everybody is going through this energy. It's shift, and it's unbelievable how much information. I mean, Angie and I last week were sitting here reading, or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, and we're reading, and spirits are flying all over the place, and we're talking to more than one spirit for every person that was popping in. So again, know that that energy is happening, and it's coming to you as well. Tap into it, quiet your mind, listen, because you don't need to go elsewhere, and don't go to every psychic and everybody else to get that's it's wonderful to do it. You're welcome to do it, but go to your own resource, which is your own spirit guides. They're going to give you the right way for you.
And don't like the more you meditate or the more you quiet your mind, the more ways you find to do it, because I don't always do it the traditional way. I'll turn on some music, sometimes I'll fall asleep, but I found that I'll be sitting there maybe listening to something on YouTube or have something on TV, and then I'll hear a word, I'll get on my pen and paper, I'll write it down. My guides are now talking to me in symbols. They're making me draw things that are representative of what I want. So if you want a new car, they're making me draw a new car and put it inside of a geometric shape. And so they're just giving me different ways. Like the more you meditate, the more you connect with your guides, they'll develop with you to bring you higher in your meditation or in your quiet time. So everybody does it a little different. Again, mine sometimes it's walking, sometimes it's music, sometimes it's just me sitting on the bed, like shuffling my cards, and I'll just get some energy. I'll put the cards down, I'll write it down. But I'm back into writing down everything they say, even if it doesn't make any sense to me. I'm writing it down for, whatever they did. Like today, I was writing stuff down in my journal and I kept writing the date wrong. I was like, why do you keep writing the date wrong? There's something about, what you're wanting to say, but you're writing it wrong. And I was trying to figure out, okay, is it that and it went along with another vision they had gave me where you have the right answers, you're putting them in the wrong place. So I just have to figure out where they have to go. So your guides will adapt to your learning and advance you so that you don't get stuck in the same mold and think it's the same thing, because there's so many different situations you can go to. in so many different ways they can connect with you. They want you to be aware of all of them. And for you, it's just concentrating on your relationship with your guides and not with everybody else telling you, well, I think I would do this and I think I would do that. We all say what we think we would do until we're actually in that situation to do it. So basically, just go within, stay within. Sacred geometry. Yes. Yes, Miss Bonnie. She knew exactly what I was talking about.
Absolutely.
So, yes. Trust your instincts, yes. And write it down. Even if like, because I feel like you're still kind of be like, trust my instincts. I don't know. Write it down. Sometimes when we see it, it makes more sense. It's like, okay, I need $10,000 in 6 weeks. I don't see that coming. Just write it down anyway. Just write it down anyway and let it go. And then for the new moon, this time I did a different little ritual. This time I bought one of these little white candles right here. And I put all my little intentions on here. I wrote them on here. And then you can't see it, but I put cinnamon down in here because I want that abundance and that money. And then I lit it. My grandmother said you only light the candle when the time is going up to the next hour, not when it's coming down, when it's going up to the next hour. So for me, that's for moon. So this is how I did my new, because the new moon was today. And so this is how I did my new moon intentions for January, the first new moon of the year. I wrote everything on here in marker, and then I lit it and I put cinnamon down in there, and I set my intentions and I lit it, and I'm just gonna let it burn. And hopefully when it's done, all my little intentions will be right here.
Amen.
That's it.
Yep. The most important thing is, again, whatever works for you that can help you to quiet your mind and to open your ears, your heart, everything else. It'll serve you well. It really will.
Yeah.
It will serve you well.
And
And
come back and tell me when you go on that trip, because I see you going on a trip and I see you getting a new truck before I see you getting a house.
and the good part is once you learn this skill set, it will hold you in good stead for so long to come.
And it'll keep growing. It'll just keep getting bigger.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So there you go.
Yep. That makes sense. Shari. Is it Shari or Sherry Burris? Because I have a friend, her name is Shari, and she spells it like that too. So it could be Shari or Sherry, but yes, that makes sense. Get back into practice. Because sometimes you have to see it. I'm a visual person and I have to write it down.
Amen. Amen.
All right. Well, who's next, Dom?
Um, let's
Jimmy Joss had asked a question. He said he had to restart his computer. His
right.
question was about a job application from October. I swore we told him no on that already.
Yeah, I saw
He
it here.
wanted to know if he was going to hear anything back on a job application that he submitted in October. And I thought we read that and said no.
Yeah,
You were going to get something better than that. But I don't know. Maybe Sherry. Got it. Thank you. So I don't know. And I don't know if he's still here. He said he had to restart his computer. So I don't know if he ever made it back.
Jimmy, are you still here? Did you come back? But I'm like you. I think that was a dead end. We told him. I'm almost certain it was not a go there, and it's still not a go.
And Lotus Siren, you don't have to use a white candle. I use white candles for intentions because it's pure to me and I like to put my intentions to it. But you can use any color. You can use red. You could do orange. You could do pink. You know, pink is love. It depends on what it is I'm calling in. And since these are specific things that I want that have to do with future, like abundance and goals that I've set, I did white. But you can do any color you want. I just chose white. And a lot of people will tell you that's, I think, like spell work or candle magic, they use white, but you can use any color you want. Don't be set that. And I got that from the Dollar Tree for $1.25, and they have all colors and they always have white. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm like you. I think that to me I'm told the colors mean something, and I'm sure that they do.
If
But
you look it up, they'll tell you, but I just don't remember, and I just go by what it feels like to me.
yeah, and I'm gonna say I go with what I go with what my feeling tells my
Yeah.
gut tells me,
Now,
and
anytime I want to get rid of negative, I always get a black candle, and black candles are hard to find around here. So usually during Halloween, I usually go and get like 12. So I'll have one for the whole year, one for every month in case I want to. But if I'm trying to get rid of something, I always use black. But again, that's just a personal preference because some people do their spell work with black. So you can do whatever you want.
Exactly.
I don't think Jimmy Joss is here or Joe's, but Cherie, she said Sherry Bird, she said she
General.
wants a general.
Yep.
Hmm.
Sounds good.
And you don't even have to get a book, Lotus Ira. You can Google it. Candle magic, candle colors. You can do all that. And I did all that, and I don't remember any of it. Like I said, now I just get whatever the hell I want. But I did remember that white was pure.
Yep.
All right. So Miss Sherry, let's see a general. Let me see. It's so funny that I immediately got "Keep On Trucking," like that song, "Keep On Trucking." It's an upbeat song. They want you to know that you're moving in the right direction, and it's kind of like chugga 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 chugga. It sounds like a train, but it's not. You're not on a train. It's your own energy, your own momentum. So for this, they're showing me the magician, and they're showing me you. This is you pulling it along. This is your momentum. You've already got the guidance. Keep moving in the way that you're going. It's very much you're moving in the right direction. I see a stethoscope. So do you work in the healthcare, or I don't feel like it's an illness. I see a stethoscope. So I feel like you're a nurse or a doctor, or you work someplace in healthcare, and they're pulling it along. They're kind of pulling it off of your neck, but I don't know if they're pulling it off your neck so you can use it, or to make you go somewhere else. Like, I'm pulling this off and I need you to follow this stethoscope to the next phase, to the next room. Cause I feel like you're about to be promoted or move up. You're a caregiver. Got it. Okay. So I feel like you're about to be, is your manager leaving? Because I definitely heard manager, manager, manager. So are you trying to be the manager of a care facility or a director? Because I definitely feel like, oh, that makes sense, because if they're taking the stethoscope off, you're leaving that more service front role, and maybe you're going to a manager role or director role where you don't need so much to be direct care. You're more managing people. So I feel so they were pulling it off of your neck, and you were walking to another room. So I feel like the next room was your step up. So I feel like there's a promotion coming, or are they opening another facility and they're going to ask you to train people or something like that? It's either there's another facility and they're moving you to the other facility because you're a little bit more advanced and you can not control the people, but help them to develop positive work traits or work habits, or, give them the procedures correctly, or they're just moving you to the next thing. But I do basically feel like you're going to get out of patient-centered care and move to the next level. Um, did you just have a death in the family or a funeral or something? Because I see a black car, but it felt like more of a somber moment, like a sad moment, like you had just left something sad. Or, well, I mean, if you're in a care facility, you may see death a lot. So I just feel like you lost somebody important to you in the last few months, or in a short amount of time, because they're showing me black. Everybody's dressed in black and there's a black car. Um But that's all I get from Miss Sherry. Cherie. I think it's Cherie. Yeah. Sherry. Sharee. So Sherry.
Sherry, baby, Sherry, baby. Um,
Her late son's birthday is the 7th.
yeah.
Okay.
Hmm. How long has he been gone? Did she say? Sherry, how long has your son been gone? Is it like 2 years?
It seems so fresh, Don.
Yeah, it seems more recent.
Yeah.
Like it seems raw still. Is it raw because it's close to the anniversary of his passing? Because again, it seems raw. It's like I feel like there's a lot that you carry with you still that you just can't seem to move beyond. And maybe again, maybe it's just because of the anniversary coming up, which is understandable.
And that's funny because usually for birthdays they show me cake, but they showed me this sad moment.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if they're showing me that. She said 8 years in July. Wow.
Wow. Yeah, I was picking up 2 for some reason. Interesting.
It's like it just happened yesterday for her. She still feels it that
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah. So what's the 2? Sherry, help me with this. What is the 2 then? Because I'm seeing they're showing me number 2 for you, and in reference to for him, it's in reference to him.
Oh.
Did he die on the second, or did he die in the second month, or was he assaulted by 2 people,
I
or
think it's that, Don, because she said homicide. As soon as you said that, she said homicide, and I said, "Oh, it
okay.
must have been 2 people."
Yeah, because I'm picking up the number 2 very strongly, and it's like that number is very much connected to him. And I'm trying to, and again, what happens is, Sherry, when we get as psychics, we get information. Sometimes we get told information, sometimes we get information downloaded, and sometimes it's symbols and signs. And for you, I'm picking up signs, and the number 2 is very strongly emblazoned in my vision. It's like I'm just seeing this number 2, and I don't know what that is. Can you does it resonate at all? Did Oh, geez, I don't know. It's interesting. Was he a twin? Because it could be that as well. Um,
It
but the number,
seems like he was young because I hear him saying, "Mommy, I'm okay," or
yeah,
was it "Mommy, I'm all right," or something like letting you know on the other side he's okay now.
yeah. When you Sherry, and Sherry and everybody else, when you say yes, please let us know what the yes means, because unfortunately, I have a tendency to ask 10 trillion questions at the same time, and as I do that, it drives you guys crazy out there, because as you're answering, I'm asking, and I don't, and the delay drives us crazy, and you crazy as well. So when you answer yes, folks, please say yes and then repeat what the yes stands for. You had 2 children. Okay, that's the 2 then. So the other one's still on this side then, right? Because again, the other one's still here. That's why the 2. And and they were close. These 2 were close. Um, and the other child took it very hard when this happened, because again, they're showing me the 2, the bond of the 2. So the 2 is, yeah. And is this one younger? Is the one that's left? Is that one? Exactly. Time to let me go. Exactly. Miss Bonnie. It is the one is on this side still. Is that one younger than the other one? And I don't want to say the other one because I don't want to disrespect your son, but I don't know his name. So if you would share it, that would be wonderful, because I'd like to call him by it. Yes, my youngest daughter is getting married on the 8th. His children. My youngest daughter is getting married on the 8th. His children. Hello, had. Hello, had.
Is it had children? Getting married on the 8th, had children. My youngest daughter is getting married on the 8th. He
He
had
had children.
children.
Okay. Okay. And so when he had children, did he have 2 of those as well? Is that because again, there's lots of there's just the 2 is big around him. The number 2, and when and again, what was your son's name, if you don't mind me asking? Just so I can call him by name. I don't like to say him and he when I don't have to. Um, is it Jay or John or Joe? It's like a Jay, John, Joe kind of situation, because that name is like bouncing in my head. Jay, John, Joe. It's like the Jays.
And I
Um,
feel like it happened in the winter because it's cold outside and it's dark outside and they're standing under a spotlight. So whatever happened, it seemed to be outside.
Miss Bonnie's asking, did he have 2 children? Sorry to barrage you, Sherry. It's just
Overwhelmed her now. She's like, "Oh my God."
she's like, enough already. I can only type so fast. I totally get it. Yes, she adopted his kids. Oh, okay. So the daughter adopted the son's children. How wonderful is that? That's
Okay.
wonderful. I know that experience because I had actually adopted my sister's son, as most of you know. Jacob, look at that name. What did I tell you? Jay John. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Oh no, that's what Bonnie's saying. I thought that was Sherry. Okay, that Bonnie's saying that. I'm like, oh my God.
No,
If the
she said
Sherry.
his name is Jacob. She said she adopted his kids, Jacob.
Oh yes, there you go. Yes. Okay. Yes. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
she said October 4th will be 10 years because it felt like winter. It
Yeah.
felt it felt cold outside. and it
Yeah.
felt like it was dark,
Yeah.
and it
Wow.
was like,
I love
I
it.
don't know,
I
like
love it when the
maybe
energy works.
he was in a place where he shouldn't have been.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. I love when the confirmation comes through like that. And then, J. John Jake. That's, well, just, I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, again, I think that you are, this is, and this, and I need to be kind of clear about this. Okay. Cause Sherry, I don't want you to misunderstand the way I'm feeling right now. And when I say feeling, I don't mean feeling as in I'm feeling whatever. Okay. Um, um, but, um, when you have, when these situations arise, okay, when we pick up energies around you and your auric field, that's what we're picking up for the psychic read, right? Sometimes during a psychic read, we can pick up information specifically about an individual, but that's information that you knew that's in your field. Okay. There are other times where a spirit will come in and the spirit will visit with us, but that's a very different feeling. We will feel heavy on us. We will feel hot if it's male for me, and if it's an older female, it's cold. Angie has a different response, and Angie actually can see them sometimes. I don't have the gift of seeing them. They know that they make themselves present by feeling, and then they dump information, and I get a download of information. The reason why I'm clarifying this is that this is not a mediumship read that I'm giving you. What I'm picking up is not a mediumship read. What I'm picking up is the incidents and information that's around you in your auric field, your energy field. And so I'm picking up psychically the information about your son and so forth. What that tells me, again, is that it's very raw to you still after all this time. um, and and in so doing, it wears on you. And again, this is a time where it's even more real, more raw. And so therefore you're wearing that energy louder, and we're able to pick up that energy, which is good. So again, please know that this is not a mediumship hit. He's not here, he's not going to give me a message. That's not what this is about. But this is also knowing that this is on your heart, it's on your mind, it's in your spirit, and you're dealing with this. And the one thing you need to look to understand is that you need to be able to find a way to bring closure to the negative part of the passing and celebrate the life and the existence, because again, it's time. And again, I can't say that he's here to tell me it's time for you to move on with that. And it's not my place or anybody else's to tell you when it's time, generally. But when you get this much energy focused for a psychic hit, it's telling me that it can be so consuming. And so don't you need to you remember, and please don't take this the wrong way, Sherry. You have two children. One is alive, one is not. Do not get yourself in a situation where you get so much into the grief from the one who's passed that you forget to love and idolize that one who's living and the grandchildren, because they're here and they need that too. And that's what you can do to show you can live his glory in them. You can live through them for him. So know that it's time to be able to find a way to bring closure to the negative side, and understand that things happen and we can't change it, we can't fix it, but celebrate the essence of his life. Celebrate the fact he's left you two grandchildren. Celebrate the fact that he touched so many, and that so many people still celebrate him, but for the good reasons. Okay.
She needs to find a way to, she needs growth. She needs something that she can concentrate on that's still growing, that's a part of him. I don't know if you still have any of his ashes, or you have anything. um and this is so funny that this is coming up, because Brandon told me when he was in school that you could take your loved ones and have them planted as a tree. And so
Mm-hmm.
I think that would have been something great for you. But there's two things I want to say. One, again, you may need to plant a tree or do something that you can see continuously grow with him and his children, so that you guys can, kind of feel comfortable talking to him, like going out and sitting under the tree and just having a conversation with him, or hey dad, blah blah blah. But I feel like you need something visual that you can see grow and sprout up. That'll show you that there's still life, and you won't dwell so much on his death. You'll nurture the growth. Like, I got to keep this tree alive. I got to make it sprout. I got to keep the roots, you need something to concentrate on. And then second, was his body badly or some kind of way injured? Because I feel like he's making me see that he's whole again. His body is whole again. There's no holes. There's no bullets. There's no damage to his body. He's whole again. He really wants you to know that he's whole again. So if, so that's one of the things I keep seeing. And then again, you may want to plant something or grow something or have something that you can see kind of continuously develop to help you to deal with the loss. Like 10 years seems like a very long time, but again, my grandmother passed in 1998, and it's still difficult, but I found ways to celebrate it versus dwelling in the pain of it. I'll laugh about the things that she taught us. I'll tell you in a minute, my grandmother was a Bible belt. She did not play. You went to church on Sunday morning. Every morning when I woke up, she read the Bible. But those are things that I remember that are positive about her, or instead of remembering how she died. Her last couple months, they never want you to remember them in their sickness. They want you to remember them in their wholeness. And so he is, oh yes, assault with a bat. Okay. Cause I felt like his body was damaged, and he wanted you to know that his body's okay. And I felt like it was a complication from whatever, like an infection or something that happened in this area, in the chest area, respiratory or somewhere. They keep saying the word respiratory, is to why he finally passed. Because I think you said he lived 20 months after the assault, before he passed. And so I feel like it was some kind of respiratory situation or some kind of infection that happened after he that was his final demise or his final passing. But again, he's fine. He wants you to know that I'm okay. And he said it like that, mommy, I'm okay. And I feel like he wants you to know his body is whole. So that's what I got. Hey, KK.
Yeah, go forward knowing again that it's time for you to um again just find and I posted on there for you to see what Miss Bonnie said. Miss Bonnie is calling on angels 1111, and she's in the same club as you. She lost her son 10 years ago, and so know that when she was talking, she was coming from a specific place that the two of you share.
Oh, yeah. She said, yes, it was respiratory in the end, pneumonia. Yeah. It felt like an infection. That was the final thing, but it was all a result of all this stuff that's going on. But you'll be fine. Again, you need something that shows growth of him. So plant a tree, plant a flower, do a herb garden or something. But you need something that you can, like, you feel like you're going out and nurturing, because they're showing me like the Queen of Wands, and she's a very nurturing person. She's going out like, let me go and, tend the garden that he used to have, or, make sure there's no weeds around the flowers. And you need something that shows growth that you can, um, uh, kind of, watch it grow and flourish, and that'll help you to feel like you're a little bit closer to him.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
And she said he's actually one of her guides, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think so. And and this is again, as I told some folks earlier, this is a very chaotic time in the world, and since all the energy is happening, the veil is thinner. So you'll probably having more visits with him now than you have in a while, because again, that veil is very thin because of all that's going on.
You know what, Sherry? I feel like I realize that every time you try to type it was typing hello. I figured that out, because I was like, why she keep typing hello? But I got it eventually. It took me a minute, but I got it. But I also feel like that's him.
Yeah,
He's in there like, hey, I'm here. I want you to know I'm around. Like, I feel like that's his energy around you, saying hello.
absolutely. Absolutely. Let's go on to, if she's still here, let's go on to, where was it? Cheyenne. Lori Cheyenne Taylor.
Okay.
Lori, are you still here? And again, folks, if you're wanting a reading, let us know and we will add you to the list. And if we're drawn to you, we will call you.
Oh, okay.
Brianna, and then Brianna Jenkins, before we get reading for Lori Cheyenne Taylor, when you ask, I would like to know if BM will apologize to me for his behavior this weekend. If he hasn't done it, call him or whatever. But I mean, really, do you need to ask us that? Why don't you ask him why he hasn't done it? I mean, I don't mean to be rude or nasty, but come on, really?
I saw that and I wanted to say something. I said I'm not gonna waste my energy on it. I was just gonna say I don't do love readings, but I just didn't feel like that.
I don't mean to be rude to anyone specifically, and I hope you don't take this the wrong way, Brianna. But when you have a chance to speak to spirits and spirit guides that can give you information to help you move forward in life, to help you navigate troubles and issues, when you have a chance to talk to the ones who've crossed over and find out what they're going through, how they're going through, and you instead want to use that time to find out
To
if
ask
somebody will
about a boy,
apologize.
to ask
Have you
about some bum who ain't even trying to talk to you.
exactly? And it's, so respectfully, I ask you: have you lost your damn mind? Is that really the question you need
Am
to
I
ask?
the drama? Could it be me? What's the problem, Di? I was just like, my guys be like, don't come with me with that foolishness, Angie. Don't ask me no questions like that. We're not asking that. You're going to the highest power that we can for your highest and greatest good, and you want to know if he gonna call you. I'm not answering that question. My guys be like, that's foolishness. I'm not answering him.
As Angie would say,
Look at my face. Don't do it. No.
and if you missed
Absolutely
it the
not.
first time, I'm gonna do it one more time.
Look at my face. Don't do it. No. You
Yes.
know I love hearing my voice every single time.
Do you know what? I have 3,400 views on that video, and
Look, 2,100 are probably me. Just like,
I love it myself. I watch. I mean, it's one of the we did that over a year or two ago, and I
oh my
still
gosh,
love that.
I love it, Don. It is my freaking favorite.
And
I
my,
use it as a sometimes as responses to some people when they talk to me. Look at my face.
you know what? I'm gonna turn that into a ringtone. By the way, I've told myself I'm gonna turn that into a ringtone. Really, I because there's gonna be people who when the phone rings, I'm like,
Oh, you mean the do not answer people? You put them all under do not.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, you don't answer.
yes. And
I
if you want to,
removed my do not answer list and just made them a block list. But Verizon be like, okay, here Angie come with her next group of people.
exactly.
Ding, 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 ding. Don't talk to me.
And to give you one more Angieism, which I absolutely love, but it's not as good as the one I just played because the one I just played is my ultimate
It's a
favorite, no matter
favorite.
what. But this one is right up there.
Sometimes I have to look in the mirror, Don, and I be like, is it me? No, it couldn't be. That don't even make sense.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm telling you, it is. It is. I just love. I love Angieisms, and so I love them when I can use them, and it's wonderful. But my
I wish
favorite,
I could have been there the day that me and Don did it. I just recorded a whole bunch of things that I normally say, and Don hit them perfect. He
yeah,
like put it on that video and hit it perfect. Like he was just like, okay, we finished one of our lives, and he was just like, okay, Angie, say them, and everything I could think of, I just spewed out, and he just put them together on a video.
yep. And I tell you what, that video for the, look at my face. I searched and searched for different videos that really could be pieced together. And in the end, ultimately, when I found the Lucy thing at the end, and I'm going to play it one more time, folks. Watch it closely at the end. Watch Lucy and Ethel's face as Angie talks to get that timing. It's like Angie said it, but she said it before I did the videos. And so I put the videos together, but you would think that she was watching Ethel and Lucy
When I say
because
perfect, Don did it perfect.
yeah. Oh no, you did it perfectly. I just was able to find the thing to make it work better. But watch this, folks. I'm telling you, watch, especially. I mean, it's all cool, but the Lucy Ethel part to me, I'm like, I sit every time. I'm like, oh my god, that's just. I could not have found a better piece of video to do what that did at that moment. Here we go, one more time.
Look at my face. Don't do it.
No.
And it's cutting off the look of my face. Wait a minute, let me try it one more time because it cuts. I'm like, wait a minute, where's the look? Because it says look at my face.
Look at my face. Don't do it. No.
Do you see how their heads shake just at the perfect time? It's like Angie's timing is the comedic. Your natural comedic timing was perfect with what they did, and I thought how amazing is that natural comedic timing you have because when you speak, you have that wonderful. I love it. It was funny.
Is that Eloise Lennon or is it Louise Lennon? What is it? Eloise Lennon? I know you said good night. If you have to go, then that's fine. But after we do, Lori, I do have a message for you, I believe. But
Okay,
if you have to go, that's
stick
okay.
around. Stick around a little bit, Louise. It'll be
Miss
worth.
Lori, are you having a are you having some kind of tiff or something with like a female, like a sister or somebody in your life? I feel like there's a light argument or a light little disagreement going on between you and somebody, and you may not be talking, or if you are talking, you're very guarded in what you're saying to this person. But there seems to be a female that you're having a little bit of a disagreement with. It doesn't seem to be serious, but it's maybe some hurtful words said on either side or both sides. And it just seems to be a little bit of a tiff that I got for you and this lady. I feel like you will get past it, but right now it's just a little bit bruised. Is how they're showing it to me. They're showing me like a bruise that needs to be just kind of nurtured or kind of just let that color come back to its normal color. But I just feel like you're in a little bit of a tiff or argument with a family member or a female energy. I also get something about school. Are you thinking about going to school or the kids back in school? I get something about school. Is there some kind of difficulty about school? Or are you having trouble with kids in school? Because I feel like you're going through a divorce. I want to say maybe if you're the one. Oh my gosh, this name seems familiar. But I do feel like there's something going on with this kids in school or something about school. Either you're going back to school or the kids in school. But it's something about school and something about a little bit of tiff with a female that you're going through. Um, I don't see you responding, so I don't know. Oh, old friend you're not talking to. Okay. So I feel like you work at a school. Got it. Because I see the kids, I hear the school. I'm like, okay, there's something about school. I feel like you're a little bit distracted. So the kids in school. I don't know if the kids are coming in a little bit like, is it the fear is on the children? Is there something about the children that are acting out or a little bit fearful? But I feel like you're a little bit more involved with the children than you usually be. There's something going on with the children where they're having the issue. So the energy seems to be kind of heightened for the children. You are going through a divorce. Got it. Okay, I see that too. Um, and you want to go back to school. Gosh, all of those things are okay.
Busy person.
Again, the friend you two will end up having a glass of wine together, and you will rekindle that. I feel like she lives kind of far away, like you would need to take a trip to go and see her. I feel like the friend's a little bit far away, and you will get to see this friend. I don't know if it's some kind of family issue that'll bring you two back together, but you two will end up talking again. And then the children at the school, again, there seems to be something going on that's bringing like high anxiety. Like I get a really big, like an uneasy, like my hands are kind of sweaty, and there's kind of like an uneasiness in my chest. Like I'm a little bit kind of on edge, like waiting for something to happen. So I feel like the children are a little bit on edge. And then for the divorce, I feel like it's been going a long time. Like you're like, oh my gosh, when is this going to be over? And it's just been prolonged and prolonged and you're really ready to settle, but you're also not wanting to move on your points of the matter. Like whatever it is that you want it. And although you're tired in that 9 of Wands energy, you're also not really wanting to move off of that because you feel like it's something you deserve or it's something that is necessary that you should have. You have a lot of anxiety over your door. I do see that. I do see the situation with the divorce, and I thought this was you. And I was like, I feel like we've talked about this divorce over and over and over again. And there's something about the house. You've decided to sell the house because you were going back and forth on should I keep it or should I not keep it. I think you were going to sell the house because something going on with it. You didn't know if you would be able to afford it on your own. So, or maybe that was my advice. But you said you want to get a good deal. Okay, so you're fighting really hard for this, and I feel like he's prolonging it because maybe he's got the most of the wealth, or he's had the wealth the most of the time. But there is going to be breakthrough. I do see the sun shining through. I see a tomato, like you just want to throw rotten tomatoes at him. Like you are so disgusted with him because he's not the person that he used to be, or who you first met, or who you married. So you're very disgusted with his behavior at this point. And but there is something else about the school. It could be your anxiety, but it feels like theirs, and it feels like you're kind of consoling the children, but it could be you consoling your inner child or your own children through this situation, because I think you have teens like 13, 15-year olds or something around that age. But things are going to settle down for you, kind of balance out for you. It is going to be a little bit of a struggle, but how long the struggle goes depends on you two kind of just battling it out, whether you're going to have some kind of court interference or what, but you're going to have to decide, like, I'll take this versus that, or you're going to have to battle it out, because I don't see either of you moving on. Exactly. Yep, that's it. She says, I don't know him anymore. Well, that's all I got for her, Don. It's just a lot of anxiety in her life and a lot of moving parts, and she doesn't know how to settle down, but it's coming.
Yeah, I think I think the only thing that I would add is that I would try to find a way to um, put a wall, a firewall around the anger that you still have, the frustration you still have, and those things. Um, and again, create a firewall that keeps it protected and in a space that needs, so where you can keep it at a distance, because it's not healthy for you to be able to draw upon it when, like, when you get a moment and you just kind of your mind works, your mind starts whatever, and then you're kind of right back there again. And so you it's too convenient. It's far too convenient because it's so fresh and in your mind. And so I think again, it would probably be in your best interest to just to find a way again to get beyond, to get yourself in a space that you can move beyond the pain and the frustration. And again, that's by creating a firewall is the best way I can say. I can't see another way of saying that. And I know it sounds very much easier than it is. I truly understand that. I do understand it. But again, it's not serving you well. It does not serve you well at all. And so you need to find a way to do that. Yeah, and yeah, that's about it for me, is what I'm getting.
Were you young when you married him? Because I get the kind of idea that you went like from your parents' house to your marital house, like you went right over, and you thought that, because I get a male that has their arm around you, and I feel like it's your dad, but I don't know that your dad is passed on, so I don't know that this is passed on energy. It feels like an active person in your life, very much interaction, you were kind of consoling you and not knowing what to say. But I felt like you thought this person was going to care for you or love you in the way that your dad did, or give you that kind of support. And when he didn't, it was hard for you because you kept, okay, well, let me see if it'll give me another chance, to give him another chance, to give him another chance. And I felt like he never put that umbrella of protection over you that you were so used to in your parents' house. And it's kind of hard for you to see a man not in that capacity of caring and loving. And so once you finally saw it, like the rose colored glasses came off, you couldn't believe how much you went through with this person,
Yeah.
or how much you put up with this person. And so You're bewildered, for one, because he hurt you, and then two, because like, how could a person do this? Like, you're supposed to protect me and you didn't, and then finding your own strength to fight when you don't want to fight somebody who you thought should love you. You know, it's a hard thing for your mind to kind of wrap its mind around. Like, I have to fight this person who I thought was going to protect me and who I vowed to love forever. And so you're having a hard time disconnecting. And the way that you're staying strong is you're fighting in this divorce.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to find a way to move beyond. It really is just unhealthy at this point.
Yeah. Just regroup. Again, kind of go within and ask your guides, how do I move on productively? How do I heal and self-love? How do I love myself enough to get past this? Because that's where you are. You have to learn to love yourself enough to get past this.
Yeah.
Yes, your dad is your protector. It very much seems like that. It seems just like you left their house to go to this house and that umbrella of protection just dropped and you just can't believe it. But you'll make it past it.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes. Absolutely. 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 Just again, find the firewall. Find the firewall.
Yeah,
And if you can't find it, make it. You know, it's
exactly.
probably a
Keep
better way to
yourself. I feel like it's just like with the job that she has, I feel like it's giving her other things to do. And so it's kind of dissipating. So it's not so in her face as it used to be, but it's still there because she's still going through it. And she goes back and forth between I hate him, I miss him, I love him, I can't stand him, I'm frustrated. Like, all those emotions are going over and over and over and over. It's not like she's passing through, I'm no longer angry, I no longer hate him, I'm past that. They're circling around because
Yeah.
you're so confused as to why he didn't fulfill his role or his vows to you.
Yeah.
Definitely go to therapy. Believe me, therapy is okay. I'm telling you, you get a chance to lay down on somebody's couch and just blah 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 blah. Go ahead and blah 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 and let them know. And a lot of times they say the same things that you can hear us say or somebody else say, but it's just a different perspective. And you like, sounds different coming from you. And then you do it. Again, it's a new moon. Set your new intentions, and in your new intentions, you can release this person. You could do it at the full moon, but you can also, set your intentions to just break these cords from this person. You could put their name on a bay leaf and set it on fire, give it back to the earth, and set the intentions of breaking any cords, any connections, any feelings toward this person so that you can move on and heal. Because I do see another love for you way down the road, but you don't want this Lori to meet that person because this Lori is still too distrusting. So you don't want to meet your next person yet. You need to heal this Lori and then meet him. So I see him further down the line.
Yep. Exactly.
And that's it. All right. Who's next, Don?
Didn't you didn't you
That
have
lady, I don't know if she stayed here. What's her name? Eloise. Was that her name or something like that?
Louise? Mhm.
I couldn't tell it. It looked like it was LL, so I didn't know if it was Eloise or Louise.
Could be. You might be right. It could be Eloise. Are you still here, Louise or Eloise? Don't forget, folks, if
Hey,
you are
Tania, or is it Tanya? What is it? Tanya? Tanya. I think it's Tanya or Tania. I can't remember. But hey, it's good to see you.
on my side of the ledger on YouTube, please go over and visit Miss Angie's side. Use this; they'll help you over there, and go over there and follow her. Make sure you subscribe to hers as well as mine. And if you're on my side, on her side, I would suggest and offer you an opportunity to come over and join the crowd there too. We do not always go on at the same times, and so this way you get even more opportunities to watch the readings and enjoy reading yourself. So again, hit those buttons. The next one is Miss Shauna. So also follow her. And of course, Bonnie, who is here, Miss Angels, calling on Angels 1111. If you love readings, if you want a love reading, if you care about love readings, this one. Send them her way. Bonnie is on Wednesday mornings, and she is on Sunday midday. I think it is around 3. I think was it? Or no, you're on 3. She's on earlier, right? Something like that. So again, that's Miss Bonnie. So help yourselves, folks. And then there's Miss Julie. Make sure you follow her and Miss Susan. They're all part of our tribe, and they all do wonderful things, and they're doing these for free. So show them the love, folks. Follow them if you can. With that said, who is next?
Is Natalie here? Shield Nova. KK, I felt like I had something to say to you earlier when you were on the live, but I don't remember because I don't remember what your question was. There's a Brianna. So whoever's in here has a question, just post your question. I see a lot of people, but I don't know if they're still here.
Angie, did you see the picture of Megan today? Meg?
Oh.
Yeah, she's like so close to doing.
Oh, no. I knew she was
Yeah,
pregnant, but I haven't seen the picture of her belly. No.
yeah. Check out the picture. I was like, oh my gosh, she's getting close, and she. That's gonna be a big baby,
Still
a big
happen. I
baby.
just be crying in every picture, like, Lord, please come get this child on my belly.
It looks like she's ready to pop. It's like you could put a pin and poof, because and it's all out front. It's all out front and low. And they say usually out front and low is a boy, right? Or is that a girl? It's a boy, right? Something like that. Old wives' tales, you know.
Exactly. So who's ever in here has a question? I don't see anybody else after Lori, so I don't
Good
know.
night, Miss
And you
Bonnie.
know, Don, since you were live, it wouldn't let me add my channels.
Why ain't that a blip? I even sent you the specific link for that to do it that way.
I think because it said you were already live and you could join it live.
Yeah, because it's
Oh,
interesting.
that's
The link I
you.
sent you was a paired.
You're
Ain't that a blip?
Oh, you're that KK. Okay, got it. That makes sense. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, Mon B, I can do you. Miss Tammy, I still get a very sad, low energy from you. Like you're really, really dealing with some really low vibe energy. And I feel like we've discussed that before, but I'm gonna work on Mom B right now. Is it Mom B or Money B? What is it supposed to be? Like I feel like you millennials be putting words together, and I'll be like, what is it supposed to be? Moby? Oh yeah. Oh yes, KK. Okay, I remember. Okay, okay, okay.
Oh,
Got it.
interesting. Okay, we'll have to talk about that when you in class, and you can expand on that one, because that was I'm curious to see what that was about, folks. For what KK is talking about is when we have a Tuesday night class where we get together and practice, and also just have a conversation and share information. And I shared some pictures taken by the same camera. Let me stress that pictures by the same camera, one in one room, a second one, and a third one, and yet the one in the middle room had all this stuff on it, where the first and third had nothing. And it's the same house, same camera, boom, 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 and it was quite interesting. And I think, and that's
Yeah,
what
she
she,
was talking about that earlier. Okay, that makes sense.
yeah.
Jimmy, we called your name several times earlier. We were trying to do your reading. We called you several times earlier. And waited for a long time before we went to somebody else. Monique. Um, when I get into your energy, did you just start a new job or are you just starting school? Like you just started something new because they showed me you're on a big campus or a big area, wherever you are, and you kind of have a map in your hand and you're trying to figure out and navigate which way to go. So you just started a new journey. Either you just started school or you just started a new job, but there's some new journey that you started and you're trying to follow this map to figure out where to go, and you're looking down at the paper so intently that you're kind of like, okay, I should be going this way, but instead of watching the way that you're going, you're trying to do it inside of the map and not in real life. And what they're saying is hold your head up and look at where you're going. Look at where you're going. It's okay to read the map and to get your guidance, but you also need to pay attention to where you're going and why you're being guided this way. Like it may tell you to take 10 steps to the left or to the right, but there's a reason that you have to. And if you're not paying attention, you may run right into whatever it is because you're not paying attention to it. So I feel like you're getting guidance. You have very good guidance and you're able to receive the guidance in whatever way that it's coming to you, but you're not in the reality of what you're going through or you're not using it practically. So I see you starting a new journey. You said, no, I want to though. Oh, you want to go to school. Is that what it is? So maybe that's it. I see you starting a new journey, but you're not. No, this is already started, and you're just not paying attention to the reality of where you're going. And so the message that I'm getting from your guides or your higher power is to also like listen to their guidance, but also practically understand how you're using. Like I can tell you all day how to tie your shoe through words, but until you practically start doing it and actually practicing and doing it, what I'm saying doesn't make sense. So although you have the guidance, you also need to put it to good use. It's kind of like getting all this valuable information about a stock and there's somebody suggesting it for you, and then you just looking at it rise versus doing what they told you to do. Yeah, I see what they're telling me to do. I know exactly what they're telling, but you're not doing it. So they want you to put the information you're receiving to practical use or to uh yeah, to work in your real life. Don't just receive the information like I got it, like I'm writing it down, I'm taking all these notes, but you're not using it. It doesn't make sense to have the information and not use it. It's kind of like you saying you need to get somewhere. I give you the keys to the car, and then you're like, well, how am I going to get there? I gave you the keys to the car. I told you, I gave you the map on how to get there. You got to get in the car and drive to get to where you're going. And so they want you to practically use the information that you're getting for you. And then the job, are you young or are you new to the workplace? Because I feel like you don't have a lot of experience. Either you don't have a lot of experience in what you're trying to go into, or you're just very new to the job market and you don't have a lot of experience anyway, because your resume seems a little bit short or a little bit incomplete. So you're not, you're new, again, you're either new to working or the area that you're going in, you don't have a lot of information experience on. Oh, you're underutilized at the moment and want to help more people. Okay, so then you want to help more people. There's a lots of different ways you can help people. You could be a therapist, you could be a doctor, you could be a nurse, you could be an accountant. Like you can help people in all different kinds of ways. What capacity do you want to help people? We help people every day during this. You can help people by being a counselor, a therapist, a doctor, like all these different ways you can help people. What is the one way that you want to help people? And once you decide what that is, focus on trying to get there and setting your intention to getting there. If you don't know what it is, what is it that you like doing? How is it that you like helping people? Is it that you like telling people what to do? Because that's what I like to do. I like jobs that allow me to tell people what to do. So any job that where I'm having to tell people what to do and how to do it and why they can't do it the way they want to do it, I love it. So you need to decide, am I just an encouraging voice in the background? Am I helping you fill out paperwork? Am I physically helping you get to from A to B? How am I helping you? Once you decide how you want to help people and what kind of people you want to help, little kids, adults, women, men, both, what area do you want to work in, you'll have some direction to go in, and this spirit can lead you in a certain way. You seem to be kind of being like, well, what is it that you want me to do? I'll do whatever you want me to do. What if you wake up, you have a dream tonight, and they tell you to go and be a nun? Are you okay with being a nun? Checking yourself right on into one of those little institutions and just giving up all the adult joys of life and just being a nun. Would you be okay with that? What kind of parameters are you setting on what the spirit want me to do? Is it what the spirit want me to do that I also want to do? Is it what spirit wants me to do that I also have joy in doing? You have to set some parameters. Don't lay down your power. Everybody's laying down their power and just being like, well, what does God want me to do? What do you want to do so they can help you? Your guides are there to help you, not to live your life. If they wanted to just tell you what to do, I mean, I guess they are telling you what to do. But if they just wanted you to do whatever they told you to do, they could just live your life for you. They could just replace you. Why do we need you to be here? There's a special reason that you're here. You have to figure out what it is that you want to do so that you can move forward and you can have some direction. Because again, a lot of people be like, I want to make more money. How much more money do you want to make? If you get paid 15.50 right now and they give you 15.75, you're making more money. But is that the amount that you want? Did you want to go from 15.50 to 25? Or did you just want to go from 15.50 to 15.75? you have to give them some parameters and some guardrails, because a lot of times if you don't, you'll get what you want, but not the way that you want it. And I feel like that's where you are. You're somewhat getting what you want, but not the way that you want it. You feel underutilized, then find a program that'll utilize you the way that you need to be utilized and move in that direction. Or ask your employer, is there something more you can do to expand your roles in the organization? And that's what I got for Monique.
Super. Monique, 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 Monique. Monique, the only thing I'm getting is that the unfortunately the opportunity is not just around the corner. That is an energy. Again, are you looking at changing careers and not just jobs? Because I'm picking up something beyond that. Um, um, I don't know. I think there's like a shakeup. There's a need for a shakeup. There's a shakeup and there's a need for a shakeup. Go find yourself.
Hold on.
To,
You've been studying astrology for 20 years and you're an amateur? 20 years of astrology?
and you say you're a human rights advocate. I know that you need to break out and move beyond where you are and what you're doing, because it's not enough and it's not really where you want to be. I get that. I totally get that. But at the same time, you need to think outside the box. Think outside the box. Think outside of anything that is relevant to you right now. And even beyond the things that you've already mentioned here, neither of those rang through when I read. I'm like, I don't feel any of that for you. That's not where you're headed. That's not where you're going to be. And I could be totally wrong, but I tell you, I did not pick up any energy around those. What I picked up is something more service related and something more, and again, it's definitely a service related, and it's a lot to do with communication and those things. So don't be surprised if you're gonna be. I mean, I get like a counseling kind of vibe. I'm getting like again, helping and assisting in some ways. But that's what I'm picking up. I see you doing something like that, and I see you doing it in a capacity for folks who are disenfranchised, folks that are not, that life has not served them well and they have not lived well. So maybe a nonprofit, maybe something again to doing with health and welfare, maybe children's welfare, those kind of things. That's where I see it. I really don't see the two things you mentioned here, and I don't pick up something more than that. But I do see you again in a counseling service kind of situation. So I would see you probably in a situation where maybe an advocate for abused spouses or families who are disintegrating and falling apart, and you're helping them to find resources available to them, that kind of stuff. That's what I'm really seeing. So,
Also, she says, and I am close to knowing what I want to do. How are you exploring the things that you want to do? Are you just reading about them? Are you going to do a day in the life of that person? Are you going to interview somebody who does that? Because again, I wanted to be a lawyer so bad. I saw Claire Huxtable on TV and I just knew I wanted to be a lawyer because she was so professional, looked so good. And I went and got my criminal justice degree, and then I went to work in a law office for 6 years, and it just was not glamorous. It was paperwork, 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 all this behind the scenes grunt work. It was not glamorous at all. And so I feel like you need to talk to people who do what you do and see what a day is like for them and what aspect of it you want to do. Because again, even in all the things that Don suggested for you, there's still so many different ways you can do that. So many different ways you can help them. You can help them with the paperwork. You can help them with the resources. You can help them to just be a family counselor. There's so many different ways you could go about doing that. But again, you have to figure out what you like. And I would prefer you to go and like maybe shadow somebody or talk to somebody who's doing it and find out what a day in their life is like before you decide, you know what, I want to be a counselor. Because I did that. I was going to get my master's in counseling. And lo and behold, I got pregnant and everybody complaining to me irritated my soul. So I Had my doctor took me out of school, so I got put on leave from school. After I had Brandon, I realized that epiphany came through, and it was just like, you do not want to be a counselor. You do not want to be a therapist. And I got out of it and went a different route. Here I am again, listening to people's problems. So I probably should have went that route. But again, you got to figure out what you want and how you want to do it. Exactly. Yeah. You're trained as a lawyer, but not want to do it. Oh, and there's different ways you could go about helping people with legal stuff, like, helping them fill out paperwork, helping to understand laws, helping to move them in the right directions. Maybe you want to be an advocate at legal services. Like, you don't necessarily, you're not being a lawyer, but maybe you're just helping them. There's just different ways you can go about using your law degree where you're not actually maybe being a lawyer or practicing law in that way.
Exactly.
Exactly. And I ain't have to pay all that money to do it, Monique. But again, you are getting there. But again, talk to some people who do what you think you might want to do, and you'll be like, oh, well, that sounds good. I think I might want to do that, or I might want to try that out, and then go and talk to that person. Just keep going and keep going. And in there, you might even find yourself a role that you could do, like, and then go to nonprofit organizations. Like right now is a great human rights time for you to explore different organizations who need help and who you can advocate for. If no other time than now, you are definitely needed. So find organizations who can utilize your services, and you could be of help to them in different ways.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, that's all I got for Miss Monique.
So who is let's do Brittany Kittle
Okay,
since
Brittany
she,
with the baby.
Brittany with the baby. Yes indeed. Okay, Brittany, your turn.
Is
And what
she
do you
the one who wants another one? She had a girl, right?
she
Or
just had yeah,
she
she
had a
just
girl. Cause do you want another little boy? Why do I see another little? Are you the one who wants another little
what?
one?
What? Oh
Oh
my
my gosh,
goodness.
Brittany. Y'all just bless y'all heart for having all these children. I just, whew, my mind is gone. But are you, okay. I do see another little boy for you, Brittany. Um, who is John? I keep hearing John. Who is John? And he spells his name Jon, not John. Who is John? She says she does want a little boy. Okay, I see you having a little boy, but woo, praise the Lord. I do see the little boy coming. She says, but not yet, of course. But who's John? I hear a John. There's a John that I keep hearing that name. And it's echoing to me, John. Like you were calling from that person and they're slipping away. So could this be somebody? Uh, could this be somebody in the afterlife and you feel like their memory slipping away? Because it's like John, and it's falling out, but you're calling out to them, trying to draw them back, and they're pulling away from you. So I feel like this person is distancing themselves, or you feel like their memory is fading, or that they're distancing from you, and that's not necessarily happening. Um, but I hear you calling out the name John, like that, and it's echoing, like because they seem to be further away from you. But I feel like they're standing right near you, and you just don't see them because you're distracted by the cares of life or by the situation that you in. Because you seem to be in a big cave with a whole bunch of little caverns that you could go into, and you don't know which way to go. And I feel like you're calling out this person's name so that they can answer and you can go to where you hear their name. So you're looking for a little bit of guidance on the other side from somebody. Is that correct? Oh, oh, okay. So I do hear John definitely. And this person, I feel like is on the other side and you're calling out to them because what you feel like you're in a hopeless situation or unfamiliar situation. Again, I feel like you're in a big deep cave, but the cave is bright orange, so I feel like there's light shining in on on there, but you don't know how to get out. And so you're in this big center area and there's a crevice here you can go in here. There's different craters or, little tunnels you can go into, and you don't know which way to go. And you're calling out for somebody to answer you. And wherever you hear the answer coming from, that's where you'll go. But I feel like whoever you're calling out to is right here, and you're not realizing that they're there with you, strengthening you. You don't see them right in front of you or right next to you. You don't feel them anymore. So you think they're gone far away, and you're chasing their memory, or you're chasing their memory, because they're showing me the Six of Cups. So you're chasing their memory, or you're chasing what you remember of them, because you feel like they're fading away, because the cares of life are overwhelming you to the point where their memory is fading. And I feel like you just need to settle down a little bit. And with a new baby, that's kind of hard. But at the time that you're feeding the baby, or that you're, having your late night with the baby, just kind of, maybe rock the baby and just go into that intention or into that meditative state, and ask your higher power while you're like, I'm trying to put the baby to sleep, but then go into it and ask your higher power or your guides, you know, um, whatever it is that you want to know. What should I do next? What direction should I go? Am I moving in the right direction? How do I get from here to here? How do I bring more money in? How do I? Because you have a lot of how do I questions, because you feel like you're at a pivot point, like you're resting now. But once you are back on the grind, you want to make sure you go hard in the right direction, and you don't know what direction that is right now. Okay, got it. So that's what I got for Miss Brittany.
Bum, 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 bum. Brittany, I don't have much more to offer than what Angie has said. The only thing that I can tell you is, so Brittany, did you just start a new job, or are you getting ready to start a new job? Because I'm picking up a new job. Um, so did you when you left them for the pregnancy situation, did you then walk away from a job, and now you're going back to you're getting a new job or something? Because I'm picking up a new job for you, a new job. And this is yet still a job. It's not going to be a career. It's only a job. Know that this is a stepping stone. Okay, know that this is not the end all be all, the last place, that kind of thing. This is just a stepping stone. um, but again, are you looking for a job, or did you change jobs? Were you looking at working? I'm picking up again, new job, new job, new job, new job. It's like banging in my head, new job, new job, new job, new job. um, So if you're being offered a new job, or if you're being offered an opportunity, take it. Maybe that's why, again, I'm getting called. But there's definitely a new position for you, and it is a right step, but it is not a career. It's only the next step. Okay, so don't get married to it. Don't think it's the best thing in the world. So you start back at your job from maternity leave this Saturday, just once a week. You have said this before, though. Okay, so no, I do. This is no. There's another job for you, and again, it's going to be something more productive than what you're doing now, and you're going to feel you like it more. But it's only a job. Again, it's not the career. The career is coming down the pike, and that's something you're going to have to figure out. You have to. There's going to be something happening later this year that's going to do. It's going to kind of pivot you and going to focus you, and you're going to realize what it is you really want to do, and then you're going to head in that direction. So by the end of this year, you're going to have clarity on career. Finally, you're going to have clarity on career, because what you've been moving from job to job to job and not really having a my townhouse manager offered me a position. Oh, maybe that's it then. There you go. Because that kind of fits with the situation you need. So it seems like, yeah.
Oh my gosh. And I was going to say, do you have mommy guilt, like from being away from the home? Because
Mhm.
if your townhouse manager offer you a position, I feel like that's something you maybe can do close to home. Like, I feel like you have a struggle between being away from the kids and being at your job, and you kind of have a little bit of mommy guilt. And so you're not the reason. And I feel like Don keeps saying it's not a career yet, because you haven't really focused on it yet, because you still have that seesaw feeling, like, I need to stay home, but I need to work. I need to stay home, but I need to work. And you haven't really found the balance between the two, or a way to lessen your mommy guilt.
Hmm. Yep.
Because I feel like your joy is to just be a mom. Just let me stay home and just be a mom, and let somebody just magically take care of all my wants and needs.
Yeah.
You're one of them people she feels like one of those people. I just love where the baby feel in my stomach. I just love being pregnant. I don't like those people because I didn't. You just love being pregnant. Okay, yeah. Um, But I feel like until you kind of find some harmony or some balance with that situation, with that mom guilt versus working, you're gonna always, like Don says, you're gonna find another job, another job, another job, not a career, until you find a way to mesh those. Like I had a friend, she loved taking care of kids, so she just opened an in-home daycare center where she kept her kids plus all of her friends, so for a fraction of what they would have paid at daycare, they were able to come to her house. And so she just did an in-home daycare, and it became easier for her. She was able to help her friends out. They were at a place that they were trusted, but she also got paid to do it. And it got rid of some of that guilt because she could now homeschool. She could now do a lot of things at home. And so she just became an in-home daycare.
Which again, when you can find that way to bring those together, it's a wonderful
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, and that's what her issue
Yeah.
is. So once she decides, then her career will start to advance. Right now, it's just going across because you're just hopping from one, you know, job to another job.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. So know that the opportunity, it's coming. The opportunity is coming, and it's going to be, again, these are stepping stones. The ultimate thing is coming, which is going to carry you into a much better space. So
Yes, I start
there we
back to
go.
work tomorrow, so we shall see how that is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So who's next, Miss Angie?
I don't know who else do we have. I saw somebody before Brittany, but I don't know if they're still here. We got Monique. We got Brittany. Somebody else said, "Oh, Sheil Nova, are you still here?" And she asked for a general if she's still here. And I don't know if Jimmy left, but again, we already answered this question. So,
Hmm.
Shield Nova, are you still here? I hope you are here because I see you as a shooting star being propelled in the direction that you needed to go. It's kind of like your guides got so tired of waiting on you, they just threw you in the direction that they needed to go, and you're soaring through the air, and you feel like you've lost your bearings. Um, but you're being propelled in the direction that you need to go. So Shield Nova is here. She asked for a general. And so again, in case you didn't hear me, Shield, I see you as a shooting star. They showed me the star card, but it's kind of like your guides got so frustrated with you. They just took you and grabbed you from where you were and threw you across the sky in order to get you to where you were supposed to be, because you were unyielding or you were unmoving, like you weren't doing what they want you to do. So they just threw you in the direction that you're supposed to go, and you feel like you're flailing about and you don't know where you're going. But that's because you're being propelled at such a high, like they threw you so hard that you're just flying through the air, and you don't realize that you're going to a destination. You just feel like you're kind of flailing all about and you don't know where you're going. But your guides know exactly where they're sending you, because wherever they're sending you is necessary for you to shine in that space. And you were taking too long to get there. The words that they're using for me is analysis paralysis. Like, you took too long to make decisions. And every time a door opened, it would take you so long to make a decision that the opportunity would pass, or it would take you so you would overthink it so much that you would talk yourself out of it. And they're like, this just doesn't make any sense. And so they're just moving you to where they want you to be. And you feel like you have no control over it. But what they're saying is, when we put you in the driver's seat, you wouldn't drive. And so now we're moving you. And when you get to that destination, we'll be there to help you figure it out. It'll be foreign to you, but it'll at least be where you're supposed to be right now, because it feels like you are a little bit behind where you were supposed to be. And so know that where you're going, although it seems like you're all out of sorts and all mixed up and you're all in your head thinking that it's bad, think about where you want to be. And that's what my guides have told me, because I was worried, about what is it going to be like when I go to work, back to work, and what about this and what about that, just worried about a whole bunch of things. And they said, don't worry about the things that you see in front of you, the political things that are going on, how the country's going, financial, all these things. Think about where you want to be. So I had to have some kind of destination in mind. I had to have some kind of idea as to what I wanted so that I could focus on that. And this is why I always tell you guys, you got to give your guide something to help you with. And so they are telling me, focus on that goal. That's what you see. Only thing you see is that reality that you want, not what is going on in front of you, because that's the now. And all of that can be changed. That's not where you're going. And so they want you to focus on where you want to be once you gain balance. So imagine yourself having control. Imagine yourself kind of knowing what direction you're going in. Imagine yourself landing where you want to be. So maybe you wanted to be a doctor, or maybe you wanted to be a beautician, wherever it is. Once you land where you're supposed to be, you're going to land flat footed where you're supposed to be. And then you get to explore and make whatever moves you want to be. But this is a time where you were unmovable, so your guides had to move you. So that's what I got for her, for Shield Nova.
Super, super. I wanted to come back a little bit on a full circle situation, I guess you would say. And that is somebody we were talking, was it KK? KK had mentioned in class and images. And I wanted to actually show those images to everybody so you can see what we talked about. Again, spirits and energy come to you in different ways, and cameras and reflective surfaces, which I said at the beginning of the thing, are the easiest way sometimes to find things. Our eyes do not see what sometimes a camera does, or sometimes a reflective surface does. Angie actually saw a spirit in my house, and she saw him and physically was there, and I could not see him. And I even asked, hey, how come I can't see you? And he's like, I'm trying to make it happen. And then I looked around my room and into our bathroom that was attached to this library that we have. And in the mirror, I could see him. Now, Angie didn't need the mirror. Angie could see him clear as day. And when she's talking to him, and he's somebody who had passed over, but he had come to the house attached to something that was in our house that we bought. And so, yes, things do come to you in different ways. And for me, it was that way. But I could not see him except in the reflective surface. And I thought that was amazing. So again, the reason why I say that is I want you guys to see these images, because we had class yesterday, and I wanted people to see these images and figure out from their own point of view what they see. Now, I'm going to show you 3 images. They were taken one room and then the next and the next, all 3 with the same camera, one after the other after the other. Nothing was done to the camera differently. It just boom in one room, boom in another one. Each of the rooms have no carpet, so it's not little mites, it's not things like that. Nothing was disturbed. It was just walking from one to one to one. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here's the first one. Can you see it? And then, let's see. Here is the second one. And again, look at all those dots. Look at all the bubbles, the orbs, and they're moving. See, they're blurred, so they're moving. They're not standing still. They're moving. Kinetic energy. And then the third one. And again, these rooms are side by side. Same camera, same person, same everything. And yet only one of them had the orbs. And only one of them had the energy. And so for me, when I see that, what I see is what I would say I'm seeing is spirit energy, and it's in that one room. It's concentrated in that one room for some reason. Why it's there, we do not know. And I don't know anything about the history of the house except for it's close to ASU here in Arizona. That's all I know about it. And it used to be a house that students would rent, and they had 6 bedrooms in it. So again, lots of activity going in and out of that house. but I shared that because I think you all should see that. It's such an amazing thing to see and to understand. And if you had seen the beginning, the video where again it showed we were both live, and this thing comes here and then whisks away, and then about 15 seconds later, a bigger one just flies this way. It's crazy. So spirits will show in different ways. You never know. And so don't be surprised when you're watching us if you pick up something that we miss, because we may have stuff flying around our heads, but because we're so focused on the camera and talking to you and trying to get the message across, that sometimes we miss them, which is what happened to the first one. When I replayed it in preparation for classes, when I saw the first one, but I did see the second one where we're live, and I was like, look at that. Did you see that? And I was like, crazy. So there you go. Who's next, Miss Angie?
Let me see.
Go ahead.
I don't know, whoever, because the only comments I see are Brittany, Shield, and KK. So who has a question?
Yeah, Brittany says, I catch things like that in videos, and I've caught one when I was in the hospital for my daughter. I thought that's what orbs look like. Yep, exactly. And it's amazing when you catch them with a camera, a slower camera, you have that blur, but you can see that there's motion, there's movement there. So it's not just something sitting there. So it's not like like a light shining through or something and reflective surface. It couldn't be, because it's moving. You can see, and light doesn't work that way. It's crazy. So there you go. Yeah, it is. That was an awesome photo, and I'm so glad I kept that and saved that. Yeah, I need to put that in a folder where I won't delete it by accident. Because it's one of those things that once it's gone, it's gone. Let's see. So again, is anybody else here before we head out? Anybody else want a reading before we say night night?
I don't see anybody else. Somebody knows somebody named Billy or Bill. Is there a Billy or a Bill? I keep hearing that name, Billy or Bill. I want to say for KK, but maybe not. I keep getting a Billy or a Bill.
Hey Vladimir, did you buy one of my readings or two of my readings, gift certificates, on Etsy during the holidays? Somebody named Vladimir bought them, and I don't know if it was you. And if it is, we need to arrange for you and whoever else to have the readings whenever it's time for you. Angie, Brittany says, "Hey, have you guys thought about TikTok? You guys would probably get famous over there."
TikTok is a little bit like, it seems less intimate to me because it seems like it's so fast, and everybody over there, I feel like, wants love readings, and I feel like my head would just explode from the amount of love readings that people want. And it seems very millennial over there. Like the age group seems to be very millennial over there.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to get their attention. You got to be like you got to keep their attention. And I'm just not. I don't feel like I'm in that. I don't feel like that's my arena.
Vladimir, I'm sending you this because sometimes Etsy won't let me send email addresses. I don't know why. It's like they're afraid I'm going to take business from them or something, which is silly. But Vladimir, this is my email address. When you're ready and you have the time set up or want to negotiate time or determine time, send me the to this email address, rumor@rumorlaw.com. Communicate with me through that one, okay? Because going through Etsy is very cumbersome and it gets crazy, and they're afraid that I'm going to steal clients or whatever. And it's like, it's my own damn clients. I don't know why it's crazy. So the point is when you're ready, communicate with me directly at this email address, rumor@rumorlaw.com, and we can work to set the times up and so forth. Again, they can go anytime. You can wait months if you want. I don't, I'm okay with whatever. I just don't want you to feel like you're not getting taken care of, because I don't want that to feel that way. I want people to know that, hey, whenever you're ready, I'm ready. That's how I see it. Okay. And KK said a will, but not a bill.
I don't know. It could have been. It's somebody who rides horses. This person was on a horse or walking next to. So it's either the adult person, the bill or will person is an adult person walking next to a little girl on a horse, or the adult person is like in some capacity involved with horses, whoever this adult person is. So I don't know.
And so, Vladimir, do you have a general or specific? Because Vladimir said he would take a question. General. He said general. Here it is.
General, okay.
Oh, and by the way, one more time, just for those folks who didn't see it earlier today, I'm bragging. I'm bragging for sure. I'm boasting and bragging because today I got some great news that my book is now in the library. The Scottsdale Public Library has added my book to their collection, and this is this. When you look it up, this is what it looks like. So I'm just kind of very happy and celebrating that, and wanted y'all to. If you hadn't seen it yet, I wanted you to see that just to know that it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool for me. So I'm gonna. So Angie,
That is so amazing.
yeah, I who would have thought? You know, again, I used to love being in libraries and reading. So to me, that's just something that is so. It's just so I never would have thought it. I just never would have thunk it. You know. So which got for Vladimir?
Oh, let's see.
And don't be too good because I want to make sure that you don't show me up when I do the readings.
Vladimir, they show me you as a cosplayer, kind of like playing a role, or like if it's my understanding with cosplayers, like they act out scenes from something. Is that how they do it? Like they act out fight scenes or something like that, cosplaying? I think that's what it is. You kind of act out, and I feel like you're acting out. You're acting in a way that doesn't feel natural to you, or you're pretending to be okay with something that you're not okay with. You are unsettled in this, and you feel like you're battling all the time, or you're fighting whatever role you're in. You feel like you're jousting back and forth all the time. I don't feel like this is who you truly are, but you're fighting for ground. And so sometimes you feel like you're gaining ground, pushing them back, and then sometimes you feel like you're pushing them back. Overall, you do feel like you're winning your ground or your case, or you're making the most movement forward. But again, you are tired of battling or having this same battle over and over and over and over again. And I feel like the stronger you get, the more people they call in. So maybe it was just you and this one person, so now they have backup and then backup. And so you're battling multiple people, or you feel like they're calling in reinforcements because you're gaining ground on them. But you definitely are you are playing a role that is not necessarily you, or that you're not happy to be in. And you are in a constant battle with these people. And you're getting a little bit weary, but the thing that keeps you going is that you feel like you have the momentum and that you're gaining the ground, and ultimately you'll have the justice, because I do see the justice card. But again, it's a long road to being there, and it's kind of like a test of your will, like the strength card. At this point, I see like on the strength card, there's usually like a lion, or a, I think it's a lion or bear or something. And this time, the lion is yawning because he's just tired of always having to have strength, or always having to battle through this situation. And you're just looking for the light at the end of the tunnel, or for the battle to be over, like for somebody to just give in. But you're not the person that's going to give in. But I do feel like justice is coming for you. You're just really, really um battle tested at this point, and you're tired of fighting. But you are, as you know, you do have the momentum. Oh, that's how you feel at work. Okay, so you do have the momentum. It's just you continuing to push it back, or even asking at this point, is there another direct, like, can you transfer me somewhere else? Is there another position I can have? Because sometimes you're just not a good fit with that group of people, and you need to move on. And I feel like we've had this conversation over and over and over again about, you moving on, and you not feeling underappreciated, and you wanting to move to a different place. But in all those times, you haven't found a new place that you want to be. I myself will quit. Listen, I won't quit in a minute. Now I won't, but in the past, I'll be like, I don't like it here and I'm leaving. I had 3 jobs in like 60 days, like 3 different jobs, 3 different start dates in 60 days. Because if I don't like it here, I don't like it here, I don't like it here, and I just kept moving until I got to a place where I liked where I was. And so at this point, I feel like you're comfortable enough to stay there, but also frustrated enough that you want some change, but not frustrated enough that you'll leave and completely go somewhere else. You feel like something is owed to you or due you, and before you leave without it, you'll battle them to the end of it. When another option for you or another perspective that you could see is, I could leave them and do even better, just completely jump over what they were offering me or what I had there and get something even better and greater and move on and on. But it's about, how do you want to pivot? How do you want to say, do I want to continue battling them until one of us is just worn down and weary and we're over it? Or do I want to move on to something better and let this go? You feel like something is owed to you and you don't want to let it go, but I do see better for you. It's just in when you get the better. Is it because you're tired out and you have no more strength to fight and you just give up? Or is it because you find something better and you move on and just let it go? So the new is coming, but you set the stage as to how you step into the new.
Absolutely.
Tired or energized and vibrant and creative.
And it's interesting. I pulled the let it go, drop the sword, just let it go, let it go, move, forget, let it go. And then the three, which means move on, get moving. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? So it's interesting how those cards are lining up, Angie. And look at this, it's putting it behind you, letting
Yeah.
go and just letting it. This is the 10 of swords. This is putting it behind you and moving on, which is again dropping the swords. Don't carry the luggage with you when you leave. Let it. It's like that was in the past. That was a situation. Move on. Look at it from a higher way. And look at this. There's that moving on card, which is that knight, and that's the Knight of Pentacles, which is that knight toward moving toward money, toward happiness, toward abundance. So
That's
where you
so big,
are,
Don.
yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. I mean, every card here confirms what you said. Again, let it go, move on, drop the shit, don't carry it with you. And then look at this. You're going to rise above. You're going to rise. Look at this. You feel light and energetic and free finally because you move on, you get to it, and then you're moving toward happiness and abundance. And abundance is more than just money. It's happiness, it's security, it's safety, it's comfort, it's all those things.
And I like the Knight of Wands, I mean the Knight of Pentacles, because
Pentacles.
it's almost guaranteed. It's
Yep.
consistent, it's dependable, but it's slow moving. But I
Slow and
feel like
steady.
it's slow
Yep.
because you won't drop the swords. Like in
Yep.
the five, you sometimes they say the five is winning at all costs. You know, I'm gonna win. What like there's so many casualties, it don't seem like nobody won. The loser didn't win
Mhm.
and the winner didn't win because we both fought so long. When if you just go ahead to that 10, take your L's and move on, you can speed up that pentacle that's coming to you. You can make it move faster. But because you're going to continue to battle, continue to fight, you're going to waste time. You're going to waste resources. And
Yep.
then when you finally go, you're going to be so jaded and so angry that wherever you go, you're going to have a little chip on your shoulder. And I'm not saying that this is how it is now, but you could go into your new place, because either way it goes, that Knight of Pentacles says you're going to get to where you're supposed to go. You just decide how you're going to get there. So are you going to get there where you just let it go and you have all this creativity and all this newfound energy to move forward? Or are you going to get there after you finally just had to battle it to the very end and you're weary and you're tired and you're destroyed? Like you don't have any more creativity. You don't have any more get up and go because you're distrustful of the corporations or the organizations when you could have just moved on and let it and got past it. Like I feel like we give you the same reading over and over. You're not appreciated, move on. Move somewhere else. You don't have to stay there. Nobody is holding you there unless there's some kind of retirement that you're vested in or something. We'll work on letting go. That's a future that could never happen.
Yeah.
I'm letting go. Don't say I will work on letting go. I'm letting go. Will work on means future possible. It don't matter. I might do it. I might not do it. I will work on. Yeah, I'll get to it when I get to it. I'm letting go. I'm actively in the point of letting go. And
Yep.
as you're letting go, because if I have a blessing for you and you're holding on to this sword so tight and you're fighting me so tight, where you gonna put the blessing? How you gonna receive the blessing? This is how you're fighting. You got swords in your hand and you're battling. How you gonna receive the blessing? Sometimes you have to let it go and have your hands open and ready to receive the blessing. So if you decide that I am letting go, actively moving on, letting go, then you make room for the blessing. I get rid of some of this anger, some of this resentment, some of this unappreciative that I feel, and I leave room for the blessing to come, and now I can move on. Will let go means, yeah, if I want to. It's
Yep.
kind of like when your parents says, we'll talk about it or we'll see. That means no, I'm not. That means absolutely not. No.
Exactly. It's like,
We'll
yeah,
see is a prolonged no.
yep. It's like what do you call it? Parent translations. And
Exactly. Exactly.
and one more card that came out. The very last card was, look at this. This is the Page of Wands. So again, that renewed energy in work, that energy, the information, the notice. You're going to get the notice, and this is, you're going to feel rejuvenated and revised and ready to just. I mean, there's nothing here that says stay where you are. There's nothing here
And
that.
that's that creative passion I was talking about, Don. Like if you just move on, you just get to that Ten of Swords, you take that L and move on. You move on in that youthful, creative, passionate energy where
Yep.
you're ready to just get at something new
Yep.
because it's fresh. But
Yep.
if you go after you've been battling in it, now you have all this negative energy that you're taking with you, and and you don't trust anybody, and you think everybody's out to get you or underappreciate you, and you don't value the stuff that you do anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, it's time. It's time. That's this. I mean, I just can't convey that enough. It is time. So, well, with that said, Miss Angie, I think we are done for the night. Thank you, everybody, for popping in. Thanks for the energy, and thanks for coming, Miss Angie. I was worried about you
Thanks
there
for
for a minute.
waiting on me, Don.
I'm glad you came in. It's unfortunate though that didn't let you link your things
It's
because that's
okay because I just shared it on my page that we were live.
yeah,
We got whatever we got, and we still got a group of people.
yeah.
We got
And
some
I
old,
noticed,
some regulars, and some new ones.
yeah, I noticed at one point Facebook wasn't posting some of the messages from some of the folks, and I thought that was crazy. But if they fixed itself, Facebook just has its own little life. That's all I can say. That's
Mark. What are you doing to it,
I
Mark?
know, Mr. Marky Mark, and not in a good way.
Exactly.
He ain't
But
no
today
Marky
was
Mark.
a good day. So wish me luck, y'all, tomorrow. First day logging back in after 5 weeks. So
Dun, dun, dun,
yeah,
dun.
yeah. From what I hear, it ain't much going on. It ain't much going on. So I'm just waiting on them to call me to tell me I got a new job, like a promotion. Like, oh, Angie, we're going to promote you and you're going to travel the world for your job.
I'll take it.
Your
I'll
job
take
is
it.
just to travel.
Not virtual travel either. Get me on a plane. Oh, but then
Exactly.
did you hear about the plane tonight?
No.
A DC-10, I think it is, or a commercial, an American Airlines jet carrying 60 people hit a Black Hawk helicopter over DC or outside of DC, and
Stop it.
at this point, no survivors. I don't have all the specifics. Somebody texted me while we were going and told me about that, and so I'm curious to see what it is after I get off of here. But yeah, unfortunately, not good news in that regard. Again, it's just craziness. The world is just upside down right now. Crazy world. Folks, just, the best thing to do, you can't control what is outside of your domain, so don't carry it with you, but you can be a voice to bring about change or whatever, and however you want to do it. So, if you're called to get out there and be that change agent, to be the person who wants to be heard and to make sure people don't ignore you and your things, then do it. But the most important thing is, don't let it eat you up, and don't let the things that you can't control mess up the things you can. Focus on those. You make sure those are taken care of first, and let the rest, kind of let the chips fall where they may. Okay, so stay strong, stay blessed, and walk in the light, and know that when you walk in the light, when you walk in your power, when you own your power, Vladimir, you especially, when you own your power, all good things will flow. All good things will flow from it. And again, trust in your energies, trust in your spirit guides, and trust in the fact that you are blessed. You're the only one of you there is. So know that going in, okay? So with that said, I guess we are done. Love, light, and blessings to everybody out there. We will see you. I'm going to be back tomorrow morning with Miss Shauna, so you're welcome to join us then. And then Miss Angie and I will be back next Wednesday. I think you have something. You're good.
No, I'm good. Wait, what's next Wednesday? Yeah, I should be good.
Yeah, I know. I had to think too. I'm like, do
Oh,
I?
and I'll have a great story either Sunday or Wednesday because Saturday I go see Teresa.
Yes. I want to hear all about it for sure.
So
And then
I'll either have that Sunday or Wednesday or both.
Yeah, and if you haven't followed Angie by now, make sure you follow her subscribe to her on YouTube. So Sunday when she pops live, but is Teresa Sunday or Saturday?
Saturday, the first.
Okay, so
Well, she's actually Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because she's Thursday, Friday up in Flagstaff, the
uh-huh.
30th and the 31st, and then the first she's in Maricopa, in Pinal County, in Maricopa. Yeah.
So if you subscribe to Angie on Sunday when she comes live, she'll have, I'm sure, an amazing story because I like Teresa. There's
Hopefully, I
something
have
about
a
her.
picture too.
That would be cool. That would be very
Her
cool.
new season is on Hulu. The one, because when she got divorced, she dropped the Long Island Medium,
Yeah.
and now she has a show called Raising Spirits,
Mm-hmm.
and she it's really good. I was watching it the last there's a whole full season on Hulu, and it's like 20 something episodes, and then she does follow up after the readings to go back and tell you how affected their lives on some of them.
And look what I found talking about Teresa Caputo, because again, she's a medium. And so that's the topic of the moment. And I found something at the Goodwill the
Oh,
other day in that same vein. John Edwards,
oh
Evolve.
my God.
Yes, and it's 6 or 7 different DVDs, and it's about Evolve. And for folks who don't know, I went to see John Edwards when he was here last, and when we went, we were sitting there. There's 400 people, and John starts talking, and he kind of lays out what he's expecting when if he's drawn to you, what you're expected to do. And of course, you hear it, but then if it comes to you, you kind of react a little different because it's like the lights on you. But it's interesting because he was drawn to the other side of the room, the left side of the room, and he's talking to folks and picking up energies. And he said, "Okay, I'm drawn over here, and I'm picking up some like a man with whatever, and he's not able to. It's like fuzziness and something's happening to changes." And I looked at Ed and I said, "I think that's my dad." And then he starts moving up the aisle on the far side. There's like 4 different sections, right? So this is the far section. I'm in the middle, in one of the 2 middle sections. And again, he started to the left. He came over to the right, and he's walking up. He said, "Do you own this? Can you own this?" And so I was like, "Well, I think it could be me, whatever." And then he's adding more to it. And I'm like, "Ed, that's not my dad." And it's like, "Well, there's a book." And here I was writing a book. Remember, I was writing, as I told you guys, I was writing this book. And so finally he comes over and he's popping up and he's like, "No, I'm drawn to you." And he points to my son who's sitting directly beside me. He says, "Do you know a Carol, a Karen?" And my son says, "No." And I said, "Yeah, he does. That's your grandmother." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, Carol." And so he stands up and the guy's
My
like,
name is Grandma. I don't know, Carol.
exactly. And I'm like, "What?" I said, "That's your grandma." And so he has him stand up and he's talking. And then Michael's kind of stumbling over things. So he has me stand up so we're talking and he says, don't feed the reader." And I'm like, I'm like, I can't believe I just did that. Cause I know better, it's crazy.
But
So
when you're on the other side, you're so excited. Now you want to say it. You're right.
exactly. So the things flow. And so I'm like, zip the lip. So he's talking. He says, he says, "So your father's over there. He brain cancer and whatever." Yeah. And his name is Robert Bob. And I'm like, "Yeah." And so he's like, he this, that, and the other. And he saw me writing the book and he says, "Finish the book." He's like, "Finish the book. This is something you have to do. You need to do." He's talking about Michael and Michael's education and about trading because he saw Michael doing day trading, which is what Michael does, which is crazy. And then at the same time, he picked up Ed's father, and Ed's sitting right beside me, and Ed's father with the pancreatic cancer and the cancer in the stomach and so forth. And so it was crazy. Both fathers were there and visiting and having some conversations with us and giving us some direction, knowing that we're loved and we're doing the right thing and we're moving forward and so forth. It was great. It was amazing. So when I saw this at the Goodwill, I had to pick it up and I'm going to read it and watch it because I have some different other things from him that I've seen over the years because I used to watch him on TV when he was on TV. And I just always thought I liked his style. I liked his energy. And when I saw him live, I was like, "Oh my God, yeah, this is kind of cool." And when you pay the money, you're like, you don't guarantee a reading. And most of the people left there without a reading. And when he came to us, I was like, "Oh my gosh." And it was crazy. The energy was amazing that night. So I think you'll probably have a similar experience. And I hope
y'all better be ready when he call our name. I mean, when she get up there, Y'all better be ready and speaking so she can come right on over to us real fast. Like, boop, Angie, it's you.
Take some amplifying crystals too to make sure that amplifies that energy.
I'm
Figure
telling
out. Yeah, find those
you. And
crystals.
we're gonna have a meeting the night before. Listen, people. When she get up there, you go foot center. You go front and center and be like, I want to talk.
Exactly. Yeah, have that meeting with your spirit team. Say, you know what, spirit team, you need to get loud and proud and scream and shout because I need some attention. Mama needs a
Exactly.
new pair of shoes.
Exactly. I need some good news, people.
Exactly. So that would be cool. So yeah, we're looking forward to hearing from it, Miss Angie, letting us know exactly what
I am so
happened.
excited. And I'm gonna have. Hopefully, I'll have pictures. If nothing else, just a picture of her because I feel like she's so tiny.
Yeah, she looks like a little micronaut. She's like a little shorty. Her hair is higher than she is.
Oh my goodness! And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. She loves it as big as the moon.
Well, you know what the Texans say, higher the hair, closer to God. There you go.
I think I've heard her say that too.
I wouldn't be surprised, even though she's from Long Island, Long
Oh
Island.
my goodness!
Oh my goodness, yes indeed. Well, folks, we're out of here. Have a great one, and we will see you again either Sunday or next Wednesday. Don't be too late and miss us because we enjoy your energy.
Don will be back in the morning, and that's my Thursday Money Live.
Exactly. Hopefully we can give you, and this is your first day back, so maybe we can make it a good day for you that way.
Exactly. I'll be in the world of email, so I'll be ready. By the time you get there, I'll be ready to take a break from the emails and just listen to y'all.
I love it.
And most people won't know I'm back, so they won't be bothering me.
Is that a hope or wish or a reality? We'll see.
Maybe I won't turn my light on. I'm not. What is that one place? Red Roof Inn. I won't leave the light on for you.
I hear you. All right, everybody. We'll have a go and see you later. And good night.
Good night.